All right, team. Sorry, just had to get back to a few students on emails. So let's get through it. As some of you will have noted already, we have finally done the move that we were imagining would happen yesterday at the very minimum. All right, so we're going to focus on the daily chart, making sure you can see everything. All right, where's the balance range? All right, I will say we have this is your balance range. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday have been all inside this balance range. And it's actually much tighter than this, and we will go through it in the hourly charts. How do we play balance ranges? Well, you play rotations. You play from edge to edge, and then the easiest setup is either a breakout or a failed breakout. What would be an example of a failed breakout? Hello, last night, I think that was, or yesterday morning, maybe pre-market, I forget. Trade back inside. All right, so if this move here, which is finally, those who were paying attention yesterday, I was saying we will break down and we will look for 480, 450. We've broken 480 and we've taken 450. Right, this is in to this imbalance. Right, this is where we found buyers. Well, this is actually a Sunday Monday gap up. We're going to have to watch this carefully. There's no real structure, firm structure until this. Remember, this is the yearly profile. 350 to 300. That's where bigger buys are stacked, and then 500. All right, so this is a little bit risky in here. So there is a trade for this, and there is also a trade for a look below, fail, reclaim back into range, and we're going to go over that right now. But what I would say, what I would note in here, there has been more selling. If you look at the aggressive selling, the delta in these candles, there's been more selling. All right, they have failed to break down the lows. They're finally starting to do it today, or they've had an attempt to do it. But every time we've come into this old gap, remember this was our big gap down on Tuesday the 4th, right? Leaving this, I mean, I'm going to call it an island high. Technically it's not, but it's the same thing, all right? And we've rejected once. Every time we've popped up into here, we have found sell side pressure. No one wants to buy up here. No one right now is looking for that. They're not. They're just simply not. The sell side pressure is telling you that. Maybe buyers want to absorb here. Maybe we're coming down to this lower Bolton 50 again. Maybe this is the start of a bigger 10% retracement. All right, so this is why we've got multi-time frame battle. If this is going to be a firm lower high on a daily, we need a lower low break, and then we're going to come into this. Otherwise, we're still in range, right? And this is our extremes, and this is the main part of it. We're going to see that in more detail as we jump down into the hourly now. All right, here's the hourly. So you can see the balance that we've created has basically created a giant head and shoulder. All right, so we have to be aware of this gap. This is the new week opening gap from Friday to Sunday open, and technically to Monday is all the way up to where we are now. So if you don't include Sunday, remember we're very light in volume there. Like I said, here we are thin. We're thin from this week. We're not necessarily thin from last week. There is a little bit of structure here into 430. Is that where we just found a bid? Yeah, we've just gone wick to wick. Okay, worth noting. We've gone wick to wick. So if I was in this short, I would have been covering some into this blue box here and then holding runners into that gap. But let's just look at how we formed the liquidity. It's important. Monday, all right, there's your balance. Failed, back into balance. Tuesday, there's your balance. So inside Monday, looks above, fails, takes liquidity, comes back into balance. Wednesday, there's your balance, right? So let's go from Monday to Wednesday. There's Monday's balance. There's Tuesday's balance. There's Wednesday's balance. Look above, fail. Look above, fail. Look above, fail. What's this giving us? 3 peaks. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, neckline. Do we break the neckline and stay heavy? Is my question today, because that is the same trade as do we see a sustained auction underneath the balance? All right, so previous day's value area low right now is at 544-ish, all right, 544-ish. Previous day value area high, 623. It looks different on this chart, but if we zoom in, that's where it is. The question right now is, we've taken this liquidity. It's done its job. We've come wick to wick, all right? So if we trap below here, this is where the squeeze started. We've traded back into that. Unfortunately, it's your low-hanging fruit. Target one has gone. My question is simply either into between 475 and 544, all right? Do we create a lower high and come down into this? All right, that's a very simple question. Is the market able to create a lower high and sell into this? Or if it's going to be like yesterday, do we just sell straight out the gate down because we're starting to break outside of balance? I'm not convinced yet because it's just a little look below right now, same as these above, right? It's just a little look above. If we look below, or even pre-market, this is the look below to clear all this out, and buyers say, hey ho, we've trapped you shorts, and all the shorts come flying in, and we reclaim, guess what that means? We're going to go to the other side of the balance, right, which is right the way up here in this grey box. Those are your two trades. It is really that simple, folks. That's how simple it is today. We are either going to reject here for a move lower, or we are going to reclaim this for a trade back inside the chop fest. All right, that's what you've got. But for sure, finally, we've got a breakdown outside of balance. So we're going to be offered one of those two trades, I would imagine. I don't think we go sideways here. Right? Any liquidity built out here will be to be used. But like we said, the low-hanging fruit was this move into 450s, the edge of that green box. That's what I was calling for. Yes, so you can see how we've gone wick to wick. It's important to understand these areas, right? This was supply. We broke through it. Once we liquidated that, it was fairly obvious this would be a cover point. That's what you're seeing so far. If we get a further breakdown, fantastic. We'll trade it. Nice and easy. All right, do not oversize in these because these can be dangerous. Fail breakouts can be very powerful. All right, if they trap enough shorts down here and we don't see follow through and they reclaim it, guess what? This will be offside delta. We will go right back to the other side of the range. You have to be careful in how they've built it out because it is possible that they've been very dirty with this. If they don't reject here, it's possible they let us drift up to previous day point of control and then fail. It would be a dirty, dirty move to do that. But NQ likes being dirty at the moment. There's no doubt about it. It had every opportunity yesterday. Right? Think about this liquidity it built out yesterday. It had every opportunity on the retest to break down and again to break down. And here overnight to break down. Those who were sat there with me in Discord last night, said, you saw this 100-point flush and I said, this is not right. Right? This is odd that we do that and then don't take it out. It's odd. It's cunning, let's say, for that pump up, and now we're rolling. Some of you asking, why are we rolling over when the government's reopened? Ask yourself, what is the market? Is it reactionary or is it forward-looking? All right, it's always forward-looking as much as possible. Most things are priced in ahead of time. All right, what have we priced in at the moment? From the last FOMC, Powell hinted that we would probably do a rate cut in December. Well, guess what? If we don't do that rate cut, like, was it Besant this morning or someone suggested it might not be that obvious and we might not do the rate cut? Well, guess what? Market's going to tank. If we priced in the government to open and give us the loads of data, and they came out yesterday and they said, hey, guess what, guys? You're not going to get any of the data. No CPI and no NFP from you from when we were shut down. Well, that looks shady, doesn't it? Because if we don't have data to trade off, what's to say that this market right now isn't a stinking rat? And I would say it definitely is a stinking rat because I would imagine that there are some major problems here. You saw two small regional banks close down this week because what? They've got horrible debt. We've got debt and returns on car finance at all-time high, or for the last 15 years since 2008. The same on credit card and the same on student debt. It's not looking good out there, folks. All right, so you can keep listening to the stock market's all-time highs all you want. Well, the stock market was at all-time highs before it crashed in 2008. I'm not suggesting it has to be a crash now, but all I'm saying is data drives the market, right? Without data, I agree with ET. How can we make a cut if they're not going to release the data? That's where my brain is at, and it's probably where everyone else is at right now. Okay, lower time frame. And you can just see here what we've done overnight. All right, Asia-London range, fairly obvious here. All right, we have a double topped high, basically. There's Asia, there's London, there's your range, right? Orange levels. All right, so you want to protect this if we're going to see downside pressure. Simple as that. Simple as that. If we're going to see downside pressure, you want to protect that and value. We have taken the liquidity. The main job's been done. Let's go and have a look at some of the ETFs. Okay, seen the same move here on ES. Now, you would have noticed the last few days we had relative strength in ES and on the Dow, and it's because we were rotating, all right, out of tech stocks into defensive stocks and healthcare etc., like we went over. We are finding a bid off this from Tuesday right now. All right, so here's your range. You're starting, what low is that? Wednesday, Thursday. All right. How you act at previous day low and this low here, 8:30, become increasingly important. Reclaim previous day low, there's probably a squeeze up, and then maybe they meet it with sellers. We'll have to see. It's going to be easier to see on the spiders, so let's have a quick look on the spiders. All right, I would maintain these buyers up here, still stuck. We've rejected once, twice, 3 times, and the same question is going to be presented here. The way we've left this, do we leave this box here, reject this for downside pressure, clean up some of these levels? That's what I'd be watching for on the spiders. But quite a clear gap down, isn't it, on the spider? Look, there's your gap. All right, clear gap down on the spiders. Qs, same story. All right, there's your gap. Nice big gap down, but we have just liquidated these lows like we talked about. Here's the big old gap. All right, new week opening gap. There is a slight divergence there into when we're trading into it, because this doesn't include the Sunday session. All right, so if we look at this close, all right, technically, where's the reopen? I'd say technically, well, that's the gap, but we can just do it to the low, right? Qs into the gap. Gap fill on QQQ would be 609. So in fact, let me just, you gonna let me do one in here? Add alert, right? And there we go. Just so I know the gap's been filled. All right, so that's potential. We can hold the top of the gap by all means, but that's potential. Let's get through these charts because I'm running out of time here. Apple opening up flat. Relative strength, like we talked about, still holding on top of old highs. Pretty good so far. Potential for breakout if it can sustain bids up here. All the time it does this, it can curl and have a new breakout. It's possible, otherwise back into range. But so far, flat on the session. Amazon, weak. All right, weak. Big sale yesterday and playing bottom of this range and probably wants to come down and retest this area down here. All right, so that's what Amazon's doing. So one flat, one downside. This looks more downside. Google, downside, breaking down. Big sale yesterday, looking for a continuation into here by the looks of it at the moment. Meta, flat. Big sale yesterday, into here. Right, it's whether they want to come into this. There was some positive news this morning, but it was rubbish positive news. Oh, you've been nominated for a great company or some bollocks like that. You know, surprise, surprise, one of the top 7 companies in the world. Get out of it. We don't care about fluff like that. Okay, Microsoft. All right, relative strength here, but all right, you might say this is very bullish. Where have we come from? This is what's important. Where have we come from? Okay, this is a reprice. Like I talked about, this is probably a reprice. They will need to retest this, and then bulls will need to firm up. All right, so I'm not convinced so far on the mag. There's nothing convincing me we're uber bullish right now on the mag. And Nvidia, that is weak. All right, big old gap down, flushing into old gap here. All right, maybe some fills down into here now. Looks heavy. And Tesla, same story. That is a key level down there, 22s, all right, or 21s. Break that. Watch out below. Watch out below if you break that. That's a bit of a liquidity snap all the way down to 13s and then 400s. All right, so market is looking heavy. There is no doubt about it. What's the one problem that we're going to have right now? Location, right? Momentum good, location not so good. So we're going to have a level and degree of patience to let this market come back up ideally and retest Globex value area low somewhere around there. At the moment, we're rejecting previous day low. I'm going to get rid of this and this and this. Okay, there we go. Cleaned it up a bit. So you know the score, folks. You know what we're looking at. Let's see if we can get it. Good morning, everyone. Let's see if we can get through some good mornings just about in time. Maybe some of you caught this short. It would make me very happy if you did, because you should have been prepared for it from yesterday. I can't see the top of the chat for some reason. So whoever's ahead of Info Risk Trader. Oh, there we go. Jesse, Jeff, Marek, Info Risk, Richardson's, Larry, Clint, Miguel, E.T., Daniela, Troy, Roscoe, Okan, Jonathan, Red, Lifetime, Doji, Peter, Bert, ERF, GG, Stefan, Full Forward, Roscoe, Raphael, Patrick, Owani, Brandon, Charles Clunch, Christy. Oh, I've just lost you all. Coop, Firewater, John, Leron, Chris Trades, Dex, Contorted, Green Otter, Priska, Croco, PB, Lauren, Aaron, Global NW. Let me just see what you said. Yes, like the stream, please, everyone. Smash that like button for me. Malokai, Tonio, The Law, Myron, JJ, Peter, BU, Michael Moses, Silem, Toby, Kat, Lou, Eduardo, Robert, Adam, Slow Stroke. Morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. And here's the open. All right, so let's see if we can squeeze out, retest some of these key levels, and if it offers a short off those key levels. That's what we're going to wait and see. And if it goes full reclaim and base is back inside, then we know it's a failed auction below, which means what? Which means we're going to trade back upside. So that's what we're looking for. Either of those things, I don't mind which. I'm open to both. Ideally, sell side pressure, which is what you're seeing so far. So can't even reclaim. That's your downtrend. Well, that was the uptrend, sorry, that's holding it. We've just sold into it. I'd like a bit of a further pop than this. Ideally, Mr. Market. Let's see. Can I get on the right account here? Where's this account? There it is. Okay. Let's have a look at the mag. Most of the mag red. Tesla 2.2% down, 2.20% down. You're breaking down here, folks. You're checking down these lows. So already heavy sell side pressure. Can Bookmap wake up a bit here, please? So in towards lower day. If you start liquidating these, like we talked about, there is potential for a move down to 320 on the gap. That morning pop and drive has failed and been instantly sold into versus previous day low. So I'd say all the time you stay heavy versus that, there's potential of a wash down to 320s. Let's move this up for you. But so far, finding bids here. I want to see us drive into and around here for me to think about selling this market, ideally. Give me better position. But if the tape stays heavy, we'll try and find a way of joining it if we're going to sustain a breakout. All right, let's go back to the mag. Sorry. Tesla 1.93% down, Nvidia 1.94% down, Microsoft 0.11% down, Meta a third of a percent up, Google 1.58% down, Amazon 0.41% down, Apple 0.26% up. So most of them red, but like we said, we're at sensitive areas. Ideally, we see pops that we can sell into. That would be the most ideal thing. Back towards previous day value area low. Let's get an anchor view up on here to start the day as well. Where's my 930? There you are. Okay, they're retesting these lows. So New York rejecting so far. They can't trade through that New York open yet. Previous day low also rejecting. Flow zones also rejecting. Unfortunately, location is not ideal here for a new short. But if we get a breakaway, then so be it. We would like a move higher to sell into. It's the going to be the easiest trade in the book. If they move higher towards value or something like that, and they sell into it. If they reclaim value, then we know it's a look below and fail, and we're going to auction back up. So those are the two things. Nothing's changed. VIX trading above previous day high, by the way, and creating a little bit of a range above previous day high, about a 25-point range. And it's got room if it starts to break. So Apple and Meta, the only ones red now. Most of the market selling off. Let's have a look. Back to that New York Open. Rejecting New York Open for now. Rejecting VWAP. Big sellers coming in there on the tape. Starting to develop a bit of a small tightened range inside this New York Open so far. I'd love to be short up here, but it might not allow us to do it, folks. If they build enough balls in here and start breaking down, we're going to have to try and find a way of joining, because if they're not going to revisit, they're going to get heavy quick. Let's see. Watching this low of day, watching the tape at the moment, because we've lost location, unfortunately. Buyers definitely trapped on that morning drive up. Delta was big on this first spike, buy side. September jobs numbers next week. I bet those don't look too good. Okay, watching to see if they save low of day or if we're going to start breaking down here. Here's the break. All right, small. Can we see continuation? Watching sell side pressure come through for this breakdown. Looking good. Oh, you don't want this to reclaim. Watching this New York VWAP under over and New York open. Still no entry. This looks good. I think they're going to snap this. Hey. Big sellers on the tape today. Oh, so we're in breakout and we're trading lower. So that's the first thing to think about. We're in breakout, we're trading lower. We're probably going to trade down towards that gap. It's just how do we get involved at the moment, given that we've lost location. But that morning drive got sold into very, very aggressively. So let's see. If you took this break here, you look good. Next target would be 59s and then gap 32s or whatever it is. Looks good here, folks. You look very, very good for continuation. They are buggers. It would have been nice if they give us this move yesterday while we were really well positioned for it, wouldn't it? I think it looks fairly likely we're going to go for gap here. Let me just make sure this is zoomed in enough. So I'd say 320s to 220s is target at the moment. If you're in this short, I would like to join if it will allow me. Will you allow me? Down we come. Leaving lots of imbalances on the way down. Everything getting hammered right now. Meta's found a bid, impressively. Correct, Raf. Yeah, this is exactly what we wanted yesterday. They just needed an extra. They needed to build. If it doesn't do it, like I said yesterday, if we don't do it today, we're going to come for it tomorrow. All right. So what they had to do is build more buyers into the tape. So yesterday, all those buyers end of day got exuberant. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go back to highs. Yeah. And you just think once they've got enough buyers trapped in, where do we go? The other direction. So I'd say 320. If you're in this already, 320 is your first cover point, and then through this, well, new lows. You don't want to be buying this, folks. We are in breakout territory. All bulls are stuck from the balance range. You've got 3 days of bulls stuck in the market. And if we take out the weekly, Monday's low will be 69, and then you're going to have absolutely everyone from this week and from the previous week stuck in the market, right? So just think about that. We're coming into some interesting levels of cover points here, but I'd like to see us drift into this. I'd like to see it pop up and give me an entry. Well, quite right. I mean, we've broken out of the volume. All the volume is left here, so we're breaking out away from it at the moment. Let's put this guy on. No, wrong one. There we go. All right, so I'd say TP. There is a TP here for you if you're already in this. Maybe some of you are in pre-market as well. Nice, Tonio. Good work. Yeah, VIX ripping. Like we said, VIX ripping. Lots of room. I'd say next stop for VIX is probably 1870 up to 19s. Yeah, so all the time VIX is ripping, sell side pressure. We don't want to short the lows though. Right, this is a trend right now, trending down. But again, obviously, all the time we're moving lower and we want to be short, we're losing location. Location, unfortunately, this is just how they've set it up. Location was up here for the shorts, maybe even here pre-market before 9 o'clock. And since then, a little bit harder to get involved in. I'm very short biased at the moment, but we would like drives higher that get sold into. Building out a bit of liquidity here. Maybe we can come and revisit some of these and see what's what. We don't want to short the lows. Next target, well, top of blue box, first target, top of grey box, second target, and then bottom of grey box, third target. That's what you're looking for. That would be the gap fill. So TP1, TP2, TP3. All right, those are your targets. Still being sold into. Every pot being sold into here this morning, folks. Every single pot being sold into. That's huge selling coming in here. Do they get absorbed? Are these guys saying, no, 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 no more, please? I think bulls are in trouble at the moment. More breakdowns here coming. You're going to get these 320s, I think. You look good for 320s at the moment. That last pop just got absolutely hammered above this little volume node. W here, nice, nice. Hopefully lots of you got it. It's a tough one, unless you shorted the open on that breakdown or took that pop up into previous day low. I guess that was probably the only entry it's offered so far, and psychological number into 500. It's been a big drift down there since then. 160 points down already. We're only 10 minutes into the day. All right, so don't be surprised if you see a snap back at some point for a bit of a reprice. We're only 10 minutes in. Long day ahead, folks. Long, long day ahead. Apple, relative strength, all right? Almost 1% up. Man, oh man. Gives me great confidence sitting in that. But again, chips weak, Apple strong. It's the theme. I'm going to get rid of this, folks, because we've traded through it. And let me just make this a bit better. It's a big range, but that's what it is. Where do we get thicker there? Yeah, really. Sorry, talking to myself here a little bit. Okay. Yeah, you look good. Info risk, you look good. So, top of grey box is top of gap, 320s. Let me just check the cues for you. Whoa, slicing through. Slicing through. We're under the 5-day and the 20-day now. So, if we go mega puke out, and we don't have to do it today, but we'd be looking for that move back to the 900s, all right? Because we're going to have the 50-day and the Bollinger Band around there on the daily. Like I said, I wasn't very bullish in this market. Haven't been all week, you would have noticed, because I think the macro... Here you go. So here's TP1, 320s. There you go, seeing a reaction off it. So top of the gap, right? That's your Sunday open. All right, that's your Sunday open. So just think, we trade below that. If we trade below Sunday open, it means every single player this week will be under, or every single bull from here is underwater if we trade under that. So that's why you're seeing some covers there, some defending on it. So that was a good TP target for you guys. Still think we can trade lower. Just I'd like to see this rebalance before it does anything else. Hey, Bradley. Yeah, sorry, folks. Not giving me the entry here this morning, unfortunately. Just straight puke. We haven't even come to retest VWAP or flow zones yet. This is starting to see panic in this market, and these levels will start to cause it that we're into now. Right, we're already 1.22% down on the Qs, firmly into this gap now, folks. So next target is 220s down here. You now have a case where what was the low? Let me just mark this out. This is the low. Do it as white from Sunday. All right, that's your low from Sunday. That is the gap down into here. So low from Sunday, gap into here. You are into panic territory for bulls, I assure you. If I had been long this week, swing long, I would now be underwater. So what did we talk about in Discord last night, folks? Why have I not given you any more swing positions this week? Because we've been in balance, and if we break out of balance, we would get murdered being long. And here we go. Contorted, up 1,000 on the day. Going to call it here and just hang out. You are amazing, Alex. Thank you for everything you do. Thanks for the kind words, my friend. Massive orb, yes. Yes, you're quite right. We're going to be quite right, Troy. Do we have it? It's still not set. We're going to have a 212 point orb at the moment, and it might be even bigger. Yeah. Gone are the days of 30 point orbs. Okay, spiders into its 20 day. Q's well beneath. We're seeing weakness. Remember, we've talked about it. Weakness in tech as we start to rotate out of tech into defensive, into healthcare, and probably everything is probably bleeding today. Let's have a little look at the breadth today. I reckon it's going to be a red market. Wakey, wakey, Finviz. Not going to give me a print. Finviz not giving me a print yet. Yes, red market. Every single sector currently down. Every single sector currently down, folks. No big green on it. I mean, the only one was that Cisco Systems. That's the only thing that's green in all 500. All 500 companies getting absolutely wrecked. Okay. So opening range now set. Just a casual 221 points. No worries, Jay Cameron. Nice work. Lovely work. Nice to see. Love to see you guys winning. I did take some trades pre-market, so I am actually up quite nice on the day. So I'm not like overly worried here, guys. But I would like to get involved. We'll see what it offers. Nice, Priska. Yeah, you should be runners only at this point. If we get weak and go below, great. But we would like to see some structure be built out here, wouldn't we? All right, this is a straight down move. We need to see some form of reprice, maybe a two-leg, or maybe into current point of control, maybe something like this, and build out liquidity to if we're going to break lower. And we mustn't be too greedy because we're into the gap. Okay, if they want to come all the way back up here, they can. All right, we can still come all the way back up here and still be bearish. Just remember that. So we don't want to be short down here, ideally. As in a new position. You don't want a new position short at low of day, ideally. Because you're now at low of day, low of week. And you're not too far away. Sorry, I'm just seeing what's that low of month. Oh, it's that breakdown, 715. Okay, you are far away. 500 points still. Okay, so see if we get some relief here. And see if these bears come back in. Or if we get a bigger squeeze out. It was a big drop this morning. The profile right now is looking like a trend day to me. Unless I know it's very, very early. But the way we've gone thick, thin is looking like a bit of a trend day today. We're at previous week value area low. Are we? Not for me. Where's my value area low? I think this is supposed to be value area low. 25,604. That's previous week value area low for me. This is wrong way around. So yeah, not for me. Yeah, 2560s. Previous week value area low for me. But just how I measure it, if you're seeing something differently, that's fine. More bears coming in here. There's no relief in this market. 25,060. Yeah, that's what I have, mate. Somewhere around there. I want to see this two-leg higher for me to get involved in anything else. Nice, Jonathan. Yeah, nice. If you guys got wins, that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters to me. But we're in breakout, right? The market's in breakout to the downside. It's not a bullish day. Look at the balance range. Understand what I said all week. Once we break out of a balance, it can be violent. You're seeing that this morning. We broke out of balance. Remember, the edge of balance was basically this red box, which used to be green. Once we broke out from it, that is a violent move downside. The retest happened pre-market, unfortunately, but whatever. Violent move downside. Let's let it build out some liquidity. Maybe up into here. You can see up into here, we're a bit thicker. All right. And if they fail here, or protect this, then we'll trade down. If they reclaim this, there's probably a squeeze back up to where we started the day because we're very thin in this move here. Let's say this. We'll just do it as grey, but it is supply. We're just going to be aware of it if they squeeze through the edge. At the moment, every pot is still being sold into currently. How long before that new candle? Still 10 minutes. Heavy, 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 heavy here. If you didn't get the trade, consider giving yourself a W for not chasing. Yeah, exactly. It's a very bad habit to chase. More often than not, you'll lose. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 25,063 previous week value very low. Yeah, that's basically where I've got it. Hi, Alex, quick question about those funded things. It's my first prop account. What's their stupid rule of buffer? They said I need to make 4% before I can withdraw. Who are you trading with? But for everyone, it's the same, pretty much the same story. So let's say you got a 50k account and you're trading with. Okay, so with Apex, you need to get above 2,500 on a 50k account, and then you can take your profit above that. And once you get to 6th payout, you can take it all. Yeah, so you need to get to 2,500 on a 50k. On 150k, is it 6k, guys? Or 4k? I can't remember. I think it's 6k. Yeah, so and you want to do that anyway, because if you're trading with Apex, you want to get out of the trailing drawdown. So you want to always be above that 2,500 kind of mark. Okay, starting to see this drift back towards this key level here. All right, and you want to see bears defend this for a move lower. If we're going to move lower, if they can't defend it, then they have squeeze potential. Right? If they can't defend sort of 366, maybe all the way up to sort of 400, that needs to be defended by bears. If they cannot defend that, then there is squeeze potential back into the grey box. Just be aware of that. If they can't defend this move up here, which I would expect them to attempt to defend, if they can't defend this, we have squeeze potential back up to reprice some of the levels above us. All right, so here you go. Here's the first stab into it. So if they come in here, I'm interested in short. If they don't come in here, I'm not going to play the long for the squeeze. If they don't come in here, I'll wait for the next level. I want to stay bearish in this market all the time that we've broken down away from, why can't I talk today? Away from value. Right, nice reaction off VWAP up there. I'm just watching the tape now, starting to get interested. Let me get my order flow back up. So some buyers coming in here. So far, they're caught offside on that last push. You're starting to see bears trying to defend. It's still a bit early yet to think about much more. And let's see. Maybe the whole number. We will see. So reaction off the gap. Maybe 400, like we talked about. It's possible. And if they get through that, like we said, we're thin all the way up to 440. So want to be careful here. Don't want to be early on this. If they're going to squeeze, they can go all the way back up. They can absolutely do it. Thin down, thin up. But I'd expect bears to try and defend. Whether they can successfully defend is a whole other thing. It was a big move this morning. But I expect liquidity to be built out here for a fade, and if not, up here for a fade. If we reclaim this, then I think bears are in big trouble. Because they've taken control. And this is their chance to really take control for the day. Okay, so they're trying to defend this level, this edge like we talked about. Watching this carefully for entries. We're holding flow zones. Just want to let this develop a little bit longer. How long before a new H1? Which will be an H4 as well. Not very long. A bit risky time-wise. Bears probably just got a little bit stuck there on that last move. They need to get a breakdown here. Just saw a big seller come in and get himself caught. And again, it's twice now into 80s or 79s. That's the level. There we go. So they need to force this down now. If they get absorbed here, we'll get a squeeze out and they will get caught. They're selling very, very hard here without moving lower yet. So let's just see. I'm just trying to be patient because there's definitely some absorption from passive buyers here at the moment. I would imagine we should move lower, but not if these bears get themselves caught here. Where they keep coming flying in. Here we go. Here's the move lower. So they need to reprice this all the way down now. Snap the whole thing lower and move to new lows. They have the chance to take over here. So this is to the edge like we talked about. I'm very cautious about this high. It's not very nice, but like they might need a little push above it first. So bears are looking for this now. I don't love that there. It would have been better if there was a nice big old wick on that. I'd feel much better about thinking about selling this at the moment. Like you can see, this is why. I don't think there's enough bulls caught above that on the excess. No, there's not. They're still waiting. Here we go. So I'm going to come back and take it and see if they can develop excess above. See if they can trap bulls on a swipe into this low volume node. So look, what I'm thinking here is we have low volume node here. We have bears defending this. Those bears need to probably get stopped out. We need like a wick up and a turnaround back down. So we probably need a second leg. If they base above this, that's a whole different move, and we're going to go all the way up into this. So I'm still looking for the bearish play. I just want to see a bit of excess left here, ideally, and I'm very, very cautious because we're getting near to that H1, H4, near to the H1, H4. Bulls defending well. They're absorbing well here. Here we go. Okay, so here's the stops getting run. All right, let's see if they trap bulls and leave excess now. Or if they are able to base above, they will go all the way up to 440 to 480. But that is better. So I'm just watching the book here, guys. Just watching to see, because we've got strong market players coming in buy side. I want to see if there's a passive seller up here. Is there a bear up here looking to trap these bulls? Not seeing much of a reaction yet. Meta and Apple still strong today. The rest of the market's still weak. Here's the 400s. Now, if they base above this, we can go all the way back to open. Just be aware of that. The squeeze can be violent if they base above this. Why I'm just waiting still. Into squeeze territory, all the way back to here. So repricing this thin imbalance now. Now, the problem now for bears is bulls can now defend this volume area. All right, so bears are losing initiative. You will need to see this happen now for them to really have full control. Good reaction there on that last squeeze out. You want to see a close back down underneath volume. You don't want to see them protect volume now. Looking better. Looking better in here. How many did we catch? Not that much. Most of it was actually caught between 400 and 411. Sell side was above that. So no bulls caught at the very high. How long we've got? 2 more minutes. Want to be careful here because they can, if they base above, it's a second leg, right? If they base above this, they can rotate because they've caught this volume here. So it's going to require patience now. Like we said, we don't short the lows. We haven't seen backside yet, right? We haven't seen a backside play yet. Potentially seen some excess into low volume being protected. Just being patient to see if they come back in and do some damage. Got to be very careful that volume shelf they've built out now. Still bearish in this market. It's just finding the right location at the moment. I'll come back to your questions in a minute, folks. I've got to watch the tape here because I'd like another trade. So just let me watch the tape. Not seeing much offside yet. Right, new H1 coming. New H1, H4 in 1 minute. So you've got to watch flow zones, VWAP, and volume. If bulls defend that, they will try and squeeze back up to towards the open. If we fail under this, we're going to get the liquidity built out under 57 for a move down. Well, the liquidity will be over 57. So if we do this, we're trading new lows, right? So this is what I'm interested in. Can they come back under POC? Can they leave this volume trapped? If they hold this, I can't play it. We can keep drifting higher and higher and higher. Oh. Come on. New H1 coming here. 5 seconds. Key level here. You can see it. This is your shelf. Big, big level. Big decision point coming in this market. Big selling, and they're still holding it up for now. Huge selling there, and it got absolutely absorbed there. So we got passive buyer on the tape starting to soak. You have to be aware of it. I'm just saying what I'm seeing at the moment. This level right here is being absorbed. This shelf into 380 just got absorbed. All right, it got absorbed. There was a huge seller there. Right, he was bigger than that, 170 lot. I think it was over 300 lot, and he got absorbed. So these are still your over unders. Once we let go of that, maybe we can see some rollover. Until that point, we're still seeing selling on every push. I'm not seeing buyers get trapped in these highs. I'm just seeing it sell side. Once we let go of this shelf, if we let go of this shelf, we can move to new lows. If we hold this shelf, we're going to go right back to that New York Open. Meta now 0.88% up. Back to this shelf again. They're testing this area where they keep soaking. Once this guy, if he gets out the way and becomes a seller, testing him again. If this guy becomes a seller, if he gets stuck and becomes a seller, we will make new lows on the day. Watching this very carefully now into him. Strong aggressive selling. Can he still soak? This is the key level around this 80. Once we start breaking away from this, he's going to get caught. He's going to get caught once we break away from this back towards the lows. Still strong selling here. Here we come. Okay. Feathering into this now. Here we go. Don't want any reclaim of 80 now that I've feathered into it. Nice. Bit of a reaction here. Don't want to see 80 reclaim because we're at the edge of this other side of the volume. Don't want this to hold up. I need follow through downside now. Any reclaim here and I'll be out. No reclaim of 80, please. Could technically risk 88, but I don't want to. I just want to see follow snap straight down under this at the moment. Here we come. Beautiful. All right, can we get more? And I want lower day. I want to see a seller join the tape and walk us all the way down to lower day. And new lows, if possible. Into this little low volume node here. Fantastic. Here we go. So sorry, guys. I just had to focus in while I get this trade away. Really nice. So low volume node for now being protected. I still think there's a chance to move down to... This has been protected here into 43s and the node below. Once we break this, I think we're going to move into new lows on the day, folks. Once we break this. Really good. Once this node lets go, I think we can move down to new lows. But yeah, bulls now stuck above 80s. So no reclaim of 80. Any reclaim of 80, I'll be out. Really good. We've got a passive seller at 75. I really don't want... This is when they annoy me, these passive sellers, when they do this. Stop advertising so fucking high because you get everyone caught. Just walk it. Just walk down, please. See, when they advertise like this, it encourages the market to come up and try and get them. And then they move their order because they get scared or they're a buyer and they're trying to lift, playing games. And then we don't get the flush we want. We get stopped out and then it comes after. So we got to be careful because I don't want it to come up to 75. That's VWAP. Here it comes. So they fucking advertised it to try and get it up there. Absolute arseholes. Absolute arseholes doing that. Right, watching this still. Still think we're going to move lower. They're rejecting all volume here. We just need this passive seller to stop being a wally. Just get out of the way. Walk down. Here we go. We want to get through this low volume node. If you're going to TP out, like if you haven't taken some here, you can take some at 25s. I'm going to hold for a breakdown here. I think we can get a breakdown here. Here we go. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I want new lows of day. So this area here is coming into that sort of TP zone if you want to lock some in. This is the edge of the gap, the grey box, right? That's the edge of gap. I want to see follow through under this. I want to see new lows on day. But if you want to lock some in here, you can. Still, this seller at 75 is being annoying. I just want to see him walk down or leave the tape. If he leaves the tape as well, it's good. Because all the time he's there, see, he's going to encourage the market to come up and fill in. Which he knows that. That's why he's doing it. Which probably he is probably a buyer who's stuck. This is how they do it. I'll go over all of this in the course. But when you've got a guy, let's say you're a buyer here, or maybe you bought here and bought here. All right. How do you make it move higher? Well, you offer here and it comes up, and then you remove that and you offer here and you hope it comes up, and then you exit. That's what they try and do to get out of their positions. So they advertise liquidity to try and make the market come up to it, and then they remove it, and then it goes to the next point, and then they can get out. And it's often what they do when they're stuck. It's the games that they play. Still think there's a new low day. Okay, good. He's moved down now into 55. This is good. This is good. It's what we want to see. So make sure you're paying yourself some, just in case we don't break down here. I think we should break down, but you know, the obvious move, 1, 2, popping in here, failing to reclaim above this. There's the breakdown, joining short once we got rid of 80s, covering some into here. As long as we protect this node here, right, as long as we protect that, we can trade lower. If they reclaim that, I would be all out, because then they can build liquidity above for a bigger squeeze. So he's just pulled his bid, his offer as well. Oh, you buggers! You're not going to give me the full move. Well, I locked a good chunk in, so I guess that's. Don't be greedy, Alex. Don't be greedy, Alex. Still holding okay here. I'm out this now, just for transparency. I think all the times you hold versus 80, you're okay, but I'm out just for transparency. There's a decent shove down, and they're defending. And we can build liquidity out now. It's annoying, but this is a higher low. Have to be aware. If they catch above here, like we've talked about, not going to fight it. If they're desperate to come into there, so be it. I'm going to let them come into there. I'm not, right, when we're short here and adding, feathering in and out here, I'm not going to sit and add into this, all right? We don't be stubborn, do we? No, 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 no. We're not stubborn people. We're back above that 80. So remember, that's where that big buyer was soaking earlier. So he's now back in the money. Just be aware of that. And I can show you him on the book if it helps. If it helps with your understanding. All right, if we zoom out of Bookmap. All right, you can see him start to join in here. 329 lot. And they tried to sell through him, and he soaked. All right, why is there no bubble here and we moved higher? Because he was limit buying it. Right, and then they got a 492 lot buy side, 55 lots, 86 lot, 71 lot, 81 lot, and then we dropped below his average price of 80. So this is where sellers took control. Buyers came back in. We've now reclaimed that same area. So this is the sensitive areas where I'm not willing to sit in it. So if we talk about sort of here, all right, that was the battle zone. They had the chance to bleed. They failed. Buyers came back in. Everyone like me stops out thinking, okay, well, if they want to squeeze this all the way back up to where we had strong sellers up here at the beginning of the day, they can. And this level here is where buyers got stuck. So we're trading into it now. So that grey box on the screen being traded into. Can I get rid of these drawings? Okay, so starting to trade into that grey box that we talked about now. That's why we don't hold through it. Right, and New York Open is up here as well. This is where any bull from the start of the day got caught. We have to be aware that this is now confirmed as a higher low. All right, this can be a bigger second leg up. Can they sell this? Yeah, but this is a higher low. That's a breaker structure. This is your New York Open. This is your previous day low. This is value. All right, so this can be a big old short squeeze. Maybe it stops here. Maybe it stops here for rotation down. But I tell you what, if they reclaim this area up here, you don't want to be short because that would be a look below and fail. All right, so shorts must protect value. This red box here, anywhere in here, shorts must protect. They can protect this if they really want, but they have to. They absolutely 100% have to defend this area here. If they don't defend that, we will be in a look below and fail scenario on a higher time frame. Well done to those who caught it before leaving. Hit the like button. At least you can do with banking on that. Yeah, quite right, Adam. Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate. So into this grey box. There's that little pre-market low kind of level. What's the mag doing? Let's have a look. Well, Microsoft's 0.15% up. Meta, the strong one today, 1.20% up. And Apple, 0.5% up. You are still bleeding in some of the chips, all right? So Tesla, 3.69% down. Nvidia, 2.57% down. Google, 2.42% down. Amazon, 0.58% down. AMD, 1.36% down. Where else are you seeing weakness? Oracle, over 2% down. So I just see this as a squeeze out. I still think bears are in control all the time. We are not back inside value, okay? How can I make that make sense to you guys who want to learn? Let's go higher time frame, right? All the time, here's most of the range. Every look above failed. Buyers got trapped above here. All the time we're below this, bears have the ability to be in control. All right, so all the time we're below this, we're looking for downside pressure, maybe to the edge of the gap, maybe to value. I don't know. Reclaim this, then bears will get themselves caught, or really reclaim here. Bears will get themselves caught, and we go back into that range. So it'd be a look above fail, look below fail kind of scenario, and we will go back into rotation. So we don't really want to see that happen because that is a much worse trade to be looking at, is trading on the rotation back inside. But we'll just see what we get. Moment being squeezed out. Hot Tub Mike on Apex, what is your recommendation as far as mini or micro to get to 25,000? I have pro accounts the last 2 days, price action, so I'm ready to go. Just size down, mate. Size down. You want to be trading micros. Look how far this market's moved, right? Because if you get it wrong, this is 220 plus points, and we're going to go 220 plus points up. So even if you make 100 of that this way and 100 of it that way, even with one micro, that's $400, right? You want to be going slow, right? You want to be going slow, especially once you pass them. Slow down. All right, right back to this New York Open. Lots of buying coming in here. Lots of market buying coming here. So sellers probably getting themselves caught at the moment, being a little bit early. Or not stopping out from here and getting squeezed out. These are interesting areas. So New York Open, previous day low, Globex low, previous day point of control. I need to see sellers defend this area here. Somewhere in that area there. Big volume exchanges. It's crazy how much volume has been traded. On low volume days, the exchanges are very big. So it's like nothing, big volume. Nothing, big volume. You can see the exchange down here, big volume, and it was all buy side up there. So protecting New York Open for now. So one thing we did see is VIX did just fail that 1870, trading back down underneath its New York Open to previous day high. You're starting to see a squeeze out here. Do not be front side on this, guys. Do not be front side. Like, if you're waiting for the short, you have to wait for it. We had the attempt. See how I didn't front side this move here. All right. Oh my gosh, trading view. We waited for the second leg to see sellers and a failure underneath for the move down. All you're seeing right now is buyers coming in. You cannot get front side on this. Why is it going like this? Because sellers keep adding. Right, and they're going to get stopped out. And once they get stopped out, and once enough buyers get trapped chasing it, a bit like yesterday, like that trade we talked about when the stream went down, then maybe sellers will come back in. But they don't have to. This can be a look below, and I have to be aware about that. Like we called it at the beginning of the day. There's two setups today. There's a continuation short for a breakout short, and there's the look below and fail. Big exchange up here at the New York Open. So that blue line on your screen, that is your New York Open. So if we get through the New York Open, then every single short seller in this New York session will be in trouble. Just checking the spiders here. Give me a second. So ES back to VWAP, spiders coming back towards previous day low, Qs coming back towards previous day low as well. Look at the spiders. Found a bit low of day on the SPY is the 20-day. Literally to the tick. Low of day on the SPY is the 20-day. Mean reversion complete. To be aware of it. Oh! No shorts right now, folks. Let it squeeze out as far as it wants to go, and if it wants to reclaim, let it reclaim, and then we can think about joining alongside once it confirms. Contorted, thanks for everything you do. What you do is truly helping change me and my family's life. I've learned so much from you. I know it's not a lot, but I hope you Oh, Contorted, you didn't need to do that, my friend. That is very, very, very generous of you. You really don't need to do that. Thank you so, so much. Very kind, thank you. And I'm more touched by those words. I'm glad I'm able to have an impact on yours and your family's life in a positive manner. That's very, very kind of you. I think I've answered that already, Hot Tub Mike. Maybe you missed it. Okay, so previous day low and 24-hour VWAP seeing a bit of reaction. Watching the tape here, because if they are going to sell, these are the areas that they're going to be interested in selling, right? And up towards the highs is where they're going to be interested in selling if they are going to sell. If we get full reclaims up here, then we can play longs back above value. And you might be say that's late. Well, it will be the first time it's actually confirmed as a look below and fail. Right now, I'm still interested in shorts. We're seeing a reaction here on the sells, all right, right into previous day low, 24-hour VWAP, and this range here. So if we start slicing through this volume here, we're going to start getting involved sell side for a move all the way back down, because I think this is so far, it's just a squeeze out, and you're starting to see a little bit of a battle at the top. So, I don't watch Bookmap and the order flow the whole time. I only really care about it when we come into the key levels. I don't care about it when we're trading in between zones. What I care about is how we act when we come into the key levels. So some aggressive buyers trying to step in here. If these guys all get stuck up here, we will go back into a sell, probably back down to this shelf at 404s. Right now, flow zones are positive. We're trading between, by the way, it's also worth noting, we're trapped between VWAPs. All right, so New York VWAP pointing upside and we're above it. 24-hour VWAP pointing flat to downside and we're below it. So rotation, 24-hour VWAP, New York VWAP. We can build here for a bit. Liquidity here, fail this. Think about this. If buyers get trapped up here again, big if they do, where do we rotate? Well, I'd say under here, we will rotate back down to these shells here, right? If buyers hold this, they will try and get back to value. That's where they will try and get back to. I'd say that's your 2 leg. At best, they've got a 3rd leg. I doubt they get much more than that without a reaction, but I can imagine us building out liquidity here and at least offering this trade down here. And if they save that, you want to be careful if they do save that. But I'm starting to see a bit of transition here to sell side pressure, but we will see. We're doing it for time. It's a good rebalance on the H1. It's completely filled the old H1. So look at that old H1. The open was 499. The low was 282. And we've gone up to 495. So basically we filled that whole H1. Where is the 9 o'clock high? It's probably somewhere here. Here we go. Yes. So 511 is the H1 high. And at the moment we're selling still. Okay. So interested in how we operate here. So if we leave this volume, I think there's a trade down to here. Want to be careful this low volume node because they can trap in these nodes. Looking for sells potentially if we start to take control here. I still think there's a new low of day possible in this market as long as they defend that level above we've talked about. All right, so I'm not a buyer until we get above value. All the time we're below value, we're in a breakout. I'm looking for sells. Here we go. They're starting to try and take control here. What is this level here? 404s. Does that match up? 392s. It's always odd when they don't match up the profiles between NinjaTrader and TradingView. I mean, still no entry for me. I'm just interested, but I am interested at this point. How we're starting to act now has caught my attention. That last push up caught buyers. We're just running out of room. We want to, if we're going to break down, I want to see new lower day because I'm not interested in just a little scalp. Okay, here we go. So starting to leave this volume into the low volume node, probably trading down to the 400s now. And if we let go of that, I want to see a new low of day. If this is a squeeze out, that's what I want to see. If they start holding those 400s, then I'm not really interested in holding the short much longer, right? So in this, for this move down now that they've tried to take control, now that we've broken out from this little guy here, 426s, and see how far low down we can get. But if they just protect this node, this 403, I'm not really interested in holding it because that can just set a higher low there. So short from this reaction into this, and I want to see this melt. And if it doesn't melt, we want to be careful that we don't just do one of these. All right. And again, small size at the moment, not sized into it. Big buyers on the tape here trying to soak 400. I think if we sell through these guys, it can be fun. All the way down to 87s at the moment they are. They're stacking up 300 lots. I want to see us sell through them aggressively. Here we go. Here we go. Don't want to see them refresh on the bid. I want to see us sell through them. If we can't sell through them, I'm not really interested in holding like I talked about. This is the level that they will try and build some liquidity off. But if we snap this, it can be really fun. Here we go. So VWAP here. Make sure you've moved your stop into the money now. And they're bidding lower now, which is good. So we can keep walking down into them. Here's VWAP. Again, I want a new lower day, folks. That's what I'm looking for, ideally. But I know if they bid off this level here, I'm not interested. But if we can just slice everyone out, if we start bidding off here, I want to be very careful. All right, but now we've got this level here as supply. I want failure here for this. All right, I want to come and take this out. If we're going to hold a high low here, we want to be careful that it's not going to come back for new highs. So absolutely, if you haven't taken TP, you can, or at a very minimum, you don't want to reclaim of 26s. So all the time 26s stays heavy, or you can call it 25s if you want. All the time they sell versus that, you're okay. The moment they reclaim that, I would not be interested in holding. So they're going to come back and test. Tesla continuing to sell. Mag's a little bit all over the place. Apple coming back down towards PDC now. Meta 1% up. Microsoft 30% up. Rest of the market heavy. Okay, so coming back towards that test of volume. Remember, if they reclaim this, we're not interested in holding it. Because if they want to do a new leg up, so be it. But we'd like to see them stay heavy versus these sort of 25, 26s. Bulls last got caught. What is that old POC? Actually above 30s. But yeah, I don't really want to see it reclaim 25, 26s. If I'm going to play for downside for new low day. If they hold this, then it's another high low, isn't it? So we just have to observe. If they hold this shelf, you have to be very careful. Because they're building liquidity out between these two levels now. All right, this shelf here. I think there's an RBS, right? Shelf here. And we've trapped above this. All right, so I'm short from here looking for a breakdown under this if I can get it. If they don't allow it, they won't allow it. Cannot fight the tape. They're like, hey, no, 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 no. We want to go higher. We're not done. So be it. But main trend is down. We've broken out from balance, so I'm looking for a downside move. I'm not looking to play the squeeze up. Sorry, just looking at the time there, seeing when the new 13, 15 minutes comes. 4 more minutes. Buyers attempting to push back through these 25s, not getting their move so far. Still a passive seller there, selling every pop. It's a battleground here for sure. We just want that breakdown, folks. If we get that breakdown underneath, it's going to be fun. All right, because then we're going to get lower high and lower low for a backside move after a squeeze out. And then we can look for lower day. Come on, baby. Give it to us. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Here we go. Here we can go. All right, I am going to take one cover here into the point of control on the session and see if we can move lower now. I think this is fabulous trading, guys. I think we've managed this today very, very well. Just understanding the book, who's stuck and where they are stuck. So you're good. You're good to hold. Like I said, move a stop in the money. All right, we didn't trade this. We didn't trade this. We traded this backside for this move down. As long as they reject this, we are looking for this move here for a new low of day. And you can pay yourself that. I paid myself into sort of this red line because it's the most traded level of the day. It's deemed as fair value. It's where buyers and sellers currently agree it's fair price for the market. All right. So I've had to take some off into this level. Otherwise, I'm in danger of being greedy. And I have to be not greedy, right? I have to be smart. Got in at 468, holding the last contract. We'll start trading if we get to 350. 468. Oh, that's a very nice trade. So on the rejection, braver man than me, but it's a great trade. The only thing that put me off, right, trading up there, the only thing that put me off was that candle at 1016, while we trapped buyers above 85 to 93. Everything above 93 was sell side. I didn't really want to see that. But yeah, great trade, full forward. We look good, guys. We look good. This is point of control. If we break under here, we're looking for new lows. It's as simple as that. If they hold this, then we have to just be respectful of where volume's built out, right? Because this is the most traded level today. If we can move away from this, I think we can trade to new lows. But just pay yourself, because we don't know 100% that it's coming down here. They can still bid in front of this level, but I would like to see this move here. It makes sense to see that move there, but they might need to do this first. And if they do that and they catch too many shorts down here and do this, higher again. So remember, we are traders. This is not a swing position. We're looking to make money out of the market when it gives it to us. Nice, Adam. Great work. Where's the lower Bollinger? A long way away. Lower Bollinger is 24,868. A long way away. You'd have to get through the 50-day first. So yeah, I'd say that we've come down into a very important level numerous times. Let me just get you on the daily. Okay. Breaking away from balance, which is why we're playing short. Thin volume, but look where we get thicker. Right, so we know into this blue level, especially, basically into 300, right? This is your profile from the year. 300 to 200, we expect some covers. Now, if we get through that, we can probably trade down into some of these nodes, right? So if we get through this and offer one of these, doesn't have to be today, can be tomorrow, can be next week, can be next month, can be January, it doesn't matter when it happens, then that trade there becomes possible. If they keep soaking this and we come back into range, this would be a failure to get down into this excess, and this becomes probable to fill this gap then. All right, so we just have to be smart with our location and positioning as always. Yeah, look good to just sit in it and hold it for now. Yes, thank you. Who said that? Full forward. Thank you very much. Yes, initial balance now printed. So low of day, IB low, and up here. So we've got what? It's probably 200 plus points. Yes, 221 points. Basically the same as your opening range, to be honest. Opening range pretty much set it, other than this little... Yeah, it did. The opening range and the initial balance are the same today. Time back. All right. Yeah, really. I was going to say goodbye. All right. Selling continuing here. You look good. We're selling through where the big delta was now to the sell side. We look good, folks. Really, really good. I think you've got a very good shot at getting a new low day here if we can let go of this blue box. So remember, 300 to 200 is higher time frame demand, but it's also an imbalance. I think this is a two-leg, which might very well give us what we look for here, folks. We're looking super good. 350s on deck. Look really good, folks. Just manage your core position here. No, this is a 1 minute that you're looking at, my friend, ET. Nice, Tyson. Yeah, good work, everyone. VIX finding a bid off previous day's high, starting to curl. If we can make that inverse head and shoulder on a 5 minute on VIX, it will really help as well. I don't want to see too much selling at the lows at the moment. Just let this settle down and then let the bulls basically trip over themselves, right? We want bulls to come in here and trip over themselves. And you're seeing this bid on the tape. He's moving down and down and down and down and down. He's scared. So he was at 400, then at 90, then at 50. Now he's at like, what, 35s, 34, 45s. All right, so this is great. This is what we want to see. Looking really good. That might very well get a flush candle soon, because if they get really, really scared, Apple now red on the day. Screwdrivers in the kitchen top drawer, or you can use my watch one. It might be in here. Yeah, I think it's in the kitchen, love. Looking good. We're looking good, folks. Really good aggressive selling. We're going to get it, folks. You can see it. These bulls are in big, big trouble. Big, 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 big trouble. What a beautiful move. Just required patience, right? Required patience. So we had a go at it here. All right, this is a good lesson for you. We had a go at here. We covered. We stopped out on the runner. We let them squeeze it, and then we play the backside. Guess where we're coming to? Here we go. Panic setting in. The panic is setting in for all these bulls who are like, oh my God, we're going back to high. We're going to squeeze. No, we are in a breakout. We are not going that way. We have sell side pressure. You're going to get hurt. You're going to get hurt. Beautiful. NQ behaving today, finally. Okay, back to the top of the gap. So if you did want to take a TP here, you could. This is the top of the gap. I would like lower prices, right? But we have swept an internal. We are top of the gap. It is worth observing. That is where we are. Would I like lower? Absolutely. But, you know, if they're going to hold and have a little squeeze back upside, they can do. I mean, we just flushed very hard from 60s. Yeah, so just be smart. Yeah, I'm trying not to be as much see money, take money. I'm trying to be of the mind that I think we can develop a trend today. Because we're in breakout. Don't have to, but that's why I'm trying to hold on for a breakdown for a new lower day, but it might not come. Remember, we sold very hard from sort of the 50, 60 break. So maybe they reprice that. Meta's still holding up very well. Rest of the market's still bleeding. Microsoft is green, but Apple now gone red on the day. That was over 1% up. I really want to break down. New lows, please. Been very patient with you today, NQ. I've been really calm and patient. I would like to be rewarded with a new low of day. Remember, we're short from around these 20s, 420s. So we have been given 100 points so far. The question is, can we get 200 plus points right now? Stop protecting the gap. Get away from the gap. Let's move through the gap. Stop protecting the gap, bulls. Get out the way. You're cooked. You're done. It's game over. Stop it. Stop it. Get out the way. Stop protecting this. Give me the flush. Give me the flush. Here it comes. Let's fucking go, baby. Let's go, baby. Now I'm getting excited. Let's go, baby. I challenge you to find someone else on YouTube who's just giving you a trade like this for free. I absolutely challenge you with the thesis, which is why I get upset when people come in here hating like yesterday. I really appreciate all of you being positive and kind today because it, as you can tell, it makes a massive difference to my psyche, which means I can trade better and help you trade better. And then you make more money and we build a nice little community that all benefit from each other. And all it takes is people turning up with positive mental attitude. You guys in chat today have been absolutely spot on. And that means I can trade efficiently and help you. So thank you for doing your bit in making sure that we have a great community. It does make a difference, guys. I am human. I have to look after my mental health, my physical health. Yesterday, I was absolutely exhausted after the abuse I've had for the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 days especially. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I'm going to get a coffee. I'm going to move my stop down. I'm going to get a coffee, and hopefully when we come back, we've done an even better move, lower. starting to find a bit of a bid on those lows here. Okay, need to be careful here. I'm very small size now. I did cover a lot into that, but I don't want to see a reclaim of 58 now. Where did that big seller come in at? 46s. We got very aggressive at, yeah, 568 lots sold into 44. So I don't really want to see anything above that reclaim. Zayad, that's now your second warning, buddy. So you've got one more chance to sort yourself out. And if you don't, then you'd be banned for the channel. And I don't care. It just means that you don't get to learn and you don't get to trade this way. You can go and watch these people who are trading for 5 points. Jack, same for you, mate. You're turning up here each day trying to watch me. I am in control of my emotions, but I don't. What you guys need to understand is I don't need to be here. You're here to learn from me. I'm not learning from you. All right, so you guys get warnings, but I tell you what, if you bring bad energy, it's fine with me. You can go and watch whoever you want. Go and watch Nutty or PW or whatever you want to watch. You ain't learning the edge from me. You ain't getting it from me. Ain't so use your strategy with Hikanashi candles and it fucking prints, brother. God bless you, mate. Hey, I love it, man. Yeah, it works very, very well. It's because they're rolling fibs. They work as rolling fibs, and then understanding the relationship between them and the higher time frames. If you notice today, we're in multi-trend bear, right? Why? Because the lower time frame and higher time frame algos are in alignment for the first time in a long time. All right, there's your lower time frame algo. Can't even see the higher time frame algo. It's probably way higher somewhere. I'm gonna have to look for him. Where are you, Mr. Green Orange Line? There you are. All right, so when did we get that flip? 6 a.m. this morning, we went into a pro trend downside. Why did that happen there? Because we left value. Also, worth noting, those who have been struggling this week, you've been struggling when we've been trading inside range, right? When we've been creating liquidity, right? This week is a great example. This week is a great example of a market which has done this. All right. Everyone is trapped in here. Today, we are outside of that range. So we are playing downside. Very, very simple. Downside. We play longs if we fail to break out and reclaim that range. We're playing downside because we're in a trending market today. So if you can understand the difference in conditions, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Right now, I think we're about to break new lows because we're starting to create one of these, and this liquidity is going to be used to come lower. And as long as they get the breakdown here, shorts, we will get these covers at new lows. If they don't get the breakdown, we do need to be somewhat careful as we build out liquidity here. No sorries needed, man. Like, honestly, it's all fine. People can come in here and hate. I don't care. They will just get removed from now on. You get a couple chances and then you're gone. It's simple, isn't it? Because there's lots of other people that they can go and watch. It's interesting that it's the same people talking shite but turning up each day. What does that tell me? It doesn't tell me that I need to control anything. It tells me that you do not know how to trade, and you know that you can learn here, but you've probably got some terrible habits that you can't change. So instead of just observing and learning and trading and making money like 90% on here, you just hate, because it's the easiest thing to do as humans. Oh, we just talk shit. That's fine. You just don't get to learn from my channel. It's really simple. Yeah, I agree, Owen. I agree, Owen. Do you think Nvidia earning next week can change something? Anything is possible. What day is it? Is it Wednesday or Thursday next week? Anything's possible. I think a lot of it is going to depend on where we are coming into those earnings, right? So normally we will price in ahead of time. We're pricing ahead of time. So let's just see. Let's just see. Well, I'll go over it in the weekly newsletter. New lows coming here, folks. We're going to get the move. We're going to get the move. Like I said, I think it's building liquidity to move lower. And we look good. Even on, I don't even know if we can get an IB projection today because it's so big. What is this level down here that I've got marked out? What are you? Mr. Grey line, previous week close. Okay, well, the initial balance 1.5 projection is into 168, which is previous week close. So that could be a potential target here, folks. It might be that we get into the, here we go. Haters gonna hate, Alex gonna make money. All right, stop moving down, starting to trail this now. I'd love a move into this then. That'd be a 50% expansion of the initial balance, and it would also be previous week close, so it makes sense. Edge of this box is into 224. Let me just check the Qs because I want to make sure we're probably getting close to some fills here. Okay, if Qs can break, sorry, if spiders can break 75, we see extra weakness, 675 on the spiders. Qs getting pretty close. Friday, what's that gap? Yeah. Sorry, folks, just checking the ETFs. Qs into an interesting level here. We look good. We look good. So I'm not going to let this reclaim this shelf now. All right. So I'm not going to be greedy. If it reclaims 290, that's where my stop's going. Just above initial balance. I just don't want it to reclaim the shelf. Nice. Great work, full trader. I mean, what'd you get there? 200 points? Maybe more? I'm wondering if we can get down here now. The projection is down here. All right, so just transparency. My stop is here. We're short from up here. All right, we're short from here. And let's see. This is the edge of the box. If we get a reaction now, I'll probably cut. But I think we can get into here. I think it's angling for this move here into previous week close at the moment. But this is the main TP. We're coming right into it. So if you want to take more profit off, you can. I don't have any more I can take off. So I'm just trying to manage what I've got. But order flow looks good. Everything's looking good here, folks. Q's into a very, very big level here. This is a close from... Is that Friday's close? Monday close? Thursday. It's got to be from Thursday. Thursday, 6th of November. We're into that. If we trade below this, we close the gap. So gap about to be filled on the NQ. Gap almost filled on the Qs. Because we're actually into after hours levels at the moment, I think. I've got to double check this on the ETF. Sorry, team. Really got to make sure this is right. What is our close there on the ETF? 609.73 on the ETF. So this is Thursday's level and the week before, and we're trading through it. Yeah, I think it's possible we get here. Move your stop tighter if you want, because even this is 40 points now. It's giving a lot back if we let this come up. Okay, Q's crossing that first level I set earlier. Everything looks good here. Everything's selling now other than Meta, and even Meta's giving over 0.5% back from where it was. We look fantastic. Order flow still looking good. We have an imbalance here up to 50s. I don't really want to see it go that high, because if we get through that, there's another imbalance to fill from 74 to 85 where we'll all sell side aggressively. We have basically hit the bottom of the grey box. It's just a question now of, can we get down here to previous week close and expand initial balance to a 50% range? We're looking good. Full forward, that's awesome, dude. Like, really good trading. And that's because you understand order flow. You're not even using me. You're here for company, because your entry was a superior entry. You must have seen something on the book that you liked in those highs. Very, very good. Do I think we're going to push up after a gap fill? I mean, maybe, but there's absolutely nothing to say that right now. If you're trying to bid on this, I would question what your strategy is. Momentum down, type of markout, breakout to the downside. What are you bidding off? There's no support. It's a bid and hope, right? So okay, we've got yearly volume down here. Okay, we can argue that. You know, it's a gap fill. We can argue that. But what is the momentum? What are we in? We're in a breakdown market. Why do you want to try and long on days when we're selling off? You want to long on days when dips become available. This is not a long for me. Not how I trade anyway. Maybe you trade differently. Previous week close. Can I get previous week close? I'm not going to hold beneath this. Those of you here yesterday will know that this is exactly the same trade I was looking at yesterday and the day before. They just had to rotate and rotate and rotate and rotate until we got it. I think we're going to get this move here, folks. Move this stop in. Where was that last defended area? 50s. Gap now filled. Gap now filled. Main objective done. Anything else is a bonus. If we get previous week close, it's a bonus. Gap now filled. VIX also filling its gap up towards those 19s. Just shy. The breakout point will be 1906. It's just shy of it. Still looks good to me. There are buyers trying to come in here, but there's still passive sellers. Again, there was a passive seller there into 250. This is why you would have heard me say 50 a few times. He's now moving and walking upside, and now he's left the tape. So I don't want it to revisit 50. I don't really want this to revisit 50 because if it does, there's potential for a little shove back up to 80 before we find sellers, or maybe even 90. So probably a reclaim of 50. I might well cut this. In fact, I'm going to force myself. My stop is going at 54. And if I get taken out, I get taken out. It's fine. It's a killer trade. It's a killer trade. 233 of you in chat right now. Hopefully, 233 of you are green on the day because I haven't given you any losers today. We've had 2 trades, 2 winners. 1 small short looking for this move. 1 giant short looking for this move. Come on, market. Go on. I dare you to break down here. Just being patient now. So all I'm trying to do is be patient now. My cover, I've got a limit order sat in here. That's a lie. I'm actually at 70. I'm actually just above it. And I will mark it out if we get close. I'm not going to be a dick for a tick. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Watching 200 as well, psychological level. Stop still at 50. Stops at 50. It might well, look, I'm going to be honest, it might well pop up to 90 and then sell down, but I cannot be giving that much back. It's just stupid of me if I do that. Big selling here. Want to be careful here. If sellers don't get the breakdown here, it means there's absorption on this gap and we're going to do that move up to 90. So be careful, be careful, be careful. So big sellers came in at low of day there. And if they get caught offside, the squeeze from 50 to 90 can happen very quickly. So that's why my stop is down at 50. Still huge selling down here. They're trying to absorb this, the buyers. Bias is very clearly downside. I'm not telling you to buy this. Do not be buying a market in breakout to the downside. There's no reason to be buying this today. Yeah, I think VIX got to break 1906, I think is the level. I think that's previous week close. So that will lean us into previous week close for us. That white or that grey line underneath is what I'm looking for. That's your previous week close. Strong selling here again. It's still being soaked at the moment. Here we go. Come on. Need to see follow through now because they've absolutely piled into this short side. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Nice, 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 nice. Almost there, almost there, almost there. Watching these 200s. They're soaking 200s. We've had huge volume come in sell side into this. think we can get this, folks. I think we can get this. Stops moving down. I'm going to trail more aggressively here. I'm going to trail to the edge of this box now. I don't care. I don't care. If it stops me out, it stops me out. So down to 25 now, down to the edge of the gap. So I'm looking for follow through down towards 66. I'm going to probably end up covering a bit in front of that. I'll probably end up front running it because I can feel my hands getting sweaty now. Come on! Don't want to reclaim the grey box. The reason being is in that grey box, we had a 300 lot, 22 lot, 26 lot, 67 lot, 100 lot, 150 lot, 66 lot, 19 lot, all market selling. That's all buyers getting stopped out. I do not want a reclaim of that grey box. Come on. Flush, 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 flush. Through the 200s, through the 200s, through the 200s. Get rid of this buyer. We're very, very close here. Sellers getting very aggressive down here. Do not be a new short down here. In case I need to say that, you do not short low of week, right? Low of day, low of week. You're not short down here. We are short from a few 100 points higher right now. Starting to see them come up and test where these sellers came in. Again, my stop is at 29s. Let's just put it at 30s for the whole number, just for the sake of it. Don't blame you if you covered into 200 there one bit. I'm willing to give it 30 points here off the lows. That's fine. You're starting to see some compression here. Can squeeze if it reclaims. About to knock me out. Very, very, very close to knocking me out here. Very close to knocking me out here. And out. Knock me out. It's probably going to go back down now. All right. Well, killer trade. Managed it the best I could. I'm just not... The reason I've put my stop there is I want this volume to be defended. And I don't want to be greedy. All right, I want this volume to be defended to go down here. We've traded back into volume. If we reclaim that, it can afford a squeeze up to there. And I don't want to give that much back. So I'm fully done with this. What a trade. What a trade. So the trade's on stream today. Unfortunately, we didn't get the open. We were looking for a pop and fail. So there is your first trade this morning. I don't think I got the whole thing. And we stopped out on the rest of it. And then the second trade was once that guy got caught soaking in here. It was about 28s, wasn't it? 25 or 28s, I remember saying, where he was soaking. And I was not risking that much. All right, there we go. So we got to the edge of this gap. Where did I get stocked out? 30s, so we can be accurate with it. So 197.5 point trade. All right, not ticks, points. 197 points. So that is how I like to trade. I'm not trading for 10 points, 20 points. I'm looking for these kind of moves here. All right. There is potential we still come down into here, but I am done with it. There's no new short position for me. I'm not interested in reattacking this. We've absolutely destroyed it today, folks. So W's in chat. If you caught that with me, congratulations. Jonathan, Black Friday sales fast approaching. Will you offer discounts? Yes, everyone keeps asking for discounts. I will do like a, I don't know, $100 off or something, 20% off. We'll figure it out. I'll do a discount for you guys. No worries. Nice team. Nice team. Just be careful here because they can squeeze this back up a bit like earlier. All right. If I show you Bookmap, if you see the order flow, you'll understand why. Again, this will all be in the new course when it comes. All right. Look at this aggressive selling right here. They try to hold. This is how you have to understand. By the way, ICT, volume doesn't matter, he says yesterday. Are you fucking mental? Even your strategies are fair value gaps, which are volume imbalances, or little gaps, which are volume imbalances. How can you say volume doesn't matter? Absolute twat. Okay, anyway. Right, here came the strong selling, so you can observe this. You can see all this, all right? 300 lot here, sell side. This is buyers trying to hold it. Once the sellers come in at the lows, they need that breakdown. They get it. 300 lot, 66 lot, 73 lot, 201 lot. 27 lot, lower day, 38 lot. When does an auction end? All right, think about if you're going to literally an auction, imagine you're going to auction, you're going to buy your car at an auction. You know, when they're like, today we've got a, I don't know, 10-year-old Mercedes CLS that's been in an accident, blah, 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 blah. When does that whole auction end? It's when there's no more sellers, when there's nothing more to sell. Why is the low of day a seller? Because that was the last seller, all right? This was the last seller. It was a market sell. These are all market orders. They are not passive orders. They're not limit orders. They're market orders. So once he's done selling, guess what happens? We come back up. We test where these sellers came in aggressively. They haven't got any more inventory at the moment, so we're going to trade away from these levels. Now, if we start to print above these levels, there's a bigger squeeze available back to where? So the next level of consolidation, basically. All right, so in here. All right, which is where it's trying to get to, which is why I said if we break through these 20s and we break through 40s, there's a chance for it to try and get up to 90s, which is what we're trying to do. We're trying to test where the last lot of sellers come in. I'm not interested in selling this anymore because now I know those of you who have traded with me here or have joined, done the course or joined the room will know what have we taken already now today? What is our main objective? What have we taken? Low-hanging fruit, right? The low-hanging fruit has gone. We've done it. It's the edge of this grey box. That's what I've wanted to see happen all the time. Think about what we were looking for yesterday. Think about everything we've been looking for this week. What does this look like? All right. Market is fractal. Let me ask you this. If we go down to an hourly, what does this look like? What is this inside the right shoulder? All right. Where did we want to clean out? Where are we going? Job's done. All right. Low hanging fruit tick. All right. We've done it. Be happy with what you've made today. You don't need to do anything else today. You've absolutely murdered the charts because you understand what the market is trying to do. That's your main job. Understand the market, trade the market. Yes, Roscoe. Well, not when I'm on stream because I can't do everything. But yeah, when I'm looking, if I'm trading the afternoon session, I will say ahead of time what I'm looking for, and I will give commentary. So yesterday, we actually had a few attempts yesterday, so I can show you some examples. They didn't come off. So even when I wasn't trading, I was giving everyone notations. So you can see here the same thing. I'm like yesterday, I'm giving notations of what I'm looking for, who's stuck, where they're stuck, and you can see here we start talking about what I'm looking for ahead of time, what I see on the book, and then when I enter it, I'm showing the entry. But it's planned out. If you look, it's planned out ahead. 11:29. I planned it out 15 minutes ahead of time. This is what I'm looking for, guys. This is the rotation I'm looking for. This is what we got. We took that rotation. All right. So then I'm telling them cover points and what I'm looking for, and then constant anecdotation or storytelling, let's say, of who's in control and where and what's happening, the rotations, etc., etc. So everything we do here on stream, but probably in even more depth, right? Yeah, he said profile is garbage. You're right. That is what he said. I mean, the guy is... It's a shame because some of his teachings are good. Okay, so they're failing IB now. Like I said, this is possible that they squeeze out through here to here and then come down for it. But I'm done with it. Like, I don't want to short here when my best entry of the day was up here. Tell you what, chat, I'm going to post this on my Twitter, and maybe you guys can write underneath once I've posted it if you want. You can give me a comment underneath it or repost it. There we go. All right, just post that on Twitter. Do me a favor. Leave me a comment underneath that last post. Let me know if you took the win. Repost it. Yeah, exactly, Mo. Like, thanks, Dex. Thanks, everyone. Yeah, let me scroll up. In fact, let me get you on this monitor here so I can see it a little bit easier. Let's see who absolutely murdered it today. I think lots of you got it. Peter, green for the day. I didn't take this trade. No need to be greedy. Yeah, you smashed it pre-market, I think. Tonio got it, I think. Fresh videos. So happy I found Austin's podcast a week before I found Alex on it. It was nice. Nice chain of events. Oh, that's awesome. I'll let Austin know that. He'll be happy as well. Thank you so much, Alex. My account was down over 2K and I managed to recover it through your guidance. I can't wait to buy your course for your knowledge. Hey, looking forward to working with you. So who caught this? Peter, Tonio, Roscoe, Leron, Billy, JJ, Otis, Green Otter, BU, Wilkus, Billy E, Tyson, Asa, Kevin, Foster Scott, Javier, Stephen C, Fresh Videos, Big Jong Viking, BU, Molokai, Bart, Jonathan, Reagan, Roscoe, Mo A, Futures with Drew, WWW. Great day, Alex. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you guys bringing the good energy. Info Risk got it. My buddy Andrew got it. I'm going to call you straight after this stream, dude. Sloth got it. ET got it. Daniela got it. Contorted got it. Brian got it. Troy got it. Cap W, sim only for me, unfortunately, but good learning. Hey, mate, it doesn't, never matters. Never, ever, ever put emphasis on the money. What matters is learning the process. Here you go. If any of you are still in this, I think you're going to get this. And man, if you break 165, you know where you're coming, right? These are your TPs. If any of you are bold enough to still be in this, which I respect massively, these are your TPs, right? TP, TP. That's where you're heading for. Really, really good. Beyond the Noise, Croco, Karen W, dug out 1,100 red day for me. Geez, hey, good work. Cruz, you are the man, Alex. I've turned in every day for the past 2 weeks. You're by far have the most on point in regards of reading the market. Amazing knowledge. Thank you for what you're doing. Hey, thanks for joining up. Wow, so many of you have smashed W's in here. I'm still trying to catch up. This is a big day for everyone. I love it. I love it. Dex, Red Don, Roscoe, Moe. At Flow Zone Trader is my name. Larry Metz. Hit consistency, Melanie, and both evals. Well done. Bart with it, Stephen W with it, Jappy, Brandon, Awani, Lauren, Global NW, John Dennis, Miguel, Full Forward, Gino, Geordie, Inner Mind Trek, You Shot Nobody, Troy, Abby, Jeff, Full Forward, Clint, love it, bud, nice work. AB caught $1,000 towards my funded challenge. Well done, mate. John Dennis still in it. Nice, man. It's looking good. I'm not going to lie to you. It's looking good at the moment. Greg E, Unk Trades, Order Flow, Stefan, Daniel Cruz. Congrats, everyone. I love it. I absolutely love to see it. Congratulations. Nothing I love more than you guys winning. It's literally the best thing. It's what satisfies me. Okay, so you know where you're holding. Those of you, if you're like John and you're still holding, all right, this guy here and this guy here is where you're aiming for. All right, if it's very kind to you, it will give you those moves. I am fully out of it. Like I said, I'm fully out of it. My stop was, I'm trying to remember, here, wasn't it? 230s, yes, 230. So fully out of it now. But these are your targets. Grey line, blue line, those are your targets. Remember, you do not want to be shorting down here, okay? Do not get short down here. The move was from up here. After a big sell, what do we always talk about? A two-leg. I wasn't sure if this was going to be it, so we took this. But it turns out that was a two-leg inside a two-leg. So we took this. The main idea is what? That we are trading down outside of value. So we're staying short side bias. All right. I'm completely done with this. We've got 50 minutes left. So we will do some giveaways today. We will do the beginner course, not the beginner to advanced, just the beginner, the introduction course worth $99, and we will do an Apex account. Still looking good. You're still rejecting this box here, still rejecting volume here. If you're holding, you're still looking good. All the time you're rejecting that, you look okay. I would not want to see this trade back inside here. You don't really want this to happen. Unless you're in it from up where I was and you're like, I'm willing to sit through the swings for it, which I can understand. But 200 points is enough for me. Thanks. Did not check the trade, but very educative. Grateful. Excellent real-time analysis. Equals logic is getting clearer. Yeah, great. That's all that matters. That is all that matters. Got to make sense of these mad candles in front of you. You just got to be able to make sense of them. Chad, just joined. Thank you for being so transparent and not allowing BS on your channel. Hey, thanks for joining, bringing the good attitude. Appreciate it. All right, let me just check a few emails here, folks. Yeah, 150 likes for the giveaways. Where are we at? We shy of it. If we're shy of it on a day like today, that's somewhat upsetting. And there was like 250 of you in here making money. Everyone comes here, they make their money, and then they run off. Oh, nice. Apex payout approved. Beautiful. Man, I forgot I actually... Oh, yeah, I had plenty of room, so I traded that. So how much extra room have I got now? Nice. Loads of room. Nice start to the day. Yeah. All right. Should we do some giveaways then? Have we got enough in here? 145 likes. Let me just refresh this. 155. Yeah. Let's do some giveaways. Let's do some giveaways. Chad, I got that W on the last one. 146 points. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. That is fantastic. It's what I like to hear. Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to set up this giveaway for you guys. Don't type it in yet, folks. Don't type it in yet, because it won't count it otherwise. Okay, best code for Apex and most of the prop firms out there is FZT. Type that in chat once, and we'll enter you into the Apex giveaway, and you'll win a free account. I'll give you guys a few minutes to do that. While you do that, I'm going to use the bathroom, and I'll be right back. All right, let's pull this winner. Guys, if you spam it, it will just not let you win, just so you know for future. It will just count you out of it. All right, here's the winner. Mark Thillison. Hopefully I've said that right. Mark Thillison. Are you here, Mark? Are you here, my friend? Still building for a downside break here, folks. You still look good. This looks very, very heavy to me. Even the VIX is still looking great. I think there's a very good chance you get a downside break here. Hey, Mark. Okay, Mark, all I'd like you to do, buddy, is just shoot me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com, and just send me a screenshot of your YouTube with you logged in so I know it's you. I'm going to make a note of you now. Katian, because everyone's asking for it, I will do a Black Friday sale. I haven't organized it yet, but I'll do a promotion for you. Yes. Yeah, guys, if you type it more than once, all that happens is when it rolls the winner, it pulls you out because it thinks you're spamming. So all you have to do, just type it once. It's all good. Still looks good. I think you're going to get your breakdown here, folks. You look really, really good for this move here. Here you go. Here you go. So those, John, I know you're still in it here, and then this is value, mate. So if you flush through here, this is value. Oh, you have to ask, like, should I have sat through 50 points of pain to get this? I don't know. You can always get more, right? You can always... It's crazy. You can always think, oh, I should get more. Why are you not happy with 200 points, Alex? You greedy, greedy bugger. Okay, let's do another giveaway. We're going to give away a beginner's course. All right, so this is probably better for those of you who have not traded before. All right, this is like very, very basic principles, about 2-3 hours long. But if you've already know how to trade, or you've done my beginner to advanced course or any of those things, you have two options. We can, well, we can re-roll it if you want to give it back to the community, or if you want to give it to a friend or family member, you can also do that. All right. So just type course in chat. Just type it once, course in chat. Healthcare also holding on again today. Let me just refresh this. So the breadth, like we talked about, the breadth has been poor in this market, which is why macro-wise, I have not been bullish bias in this market. And the breadth still. And my computer really does not like FinViz. Does anyone else have that issue? Is it just all the pop-ups that it has? They need to get with the times. Like, no one needs these shitty pop-ups anymore, FinViz. We haven't done that for years. Right, so the breadth today, again, no. Right, so you can see most of the market selling. Think about what are the biggest red names and where are they heavily weighted? Tesla, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, AVGO, Oracle, Palantir, INTC, right? These are way heavier weighted in the Qs than they are in the ES. Guess what's weighted in the ES and isn't in the Qs? Healthcare. All right, so healthcare holding on, having a green day. What have we talked about? Rotation out of tech, rotation into energy, healthcare, defense stocks, a little bit in finance. That's where it's going, all right? That's where the money's coming out of and trying to go into. It's not a good sign when the spiders are holding on more than the Qs, when we've rallied for God knows how many years now, and definitely since April, based on 7 stocks. Guess what? When they bleed, we bleed, right? We bleed and hard. So that's what you're getting today. Okay, give you one more minute. Patrick, yeah, let me pull this winner and then I will go through that for you. Patrick Mitchell, I see your question. All right, let's choose this winner now. Dex. Winner is Dex. Dex, do you want the free introduction course, or have you already done one of the courses, or you want me to re-roll it, or do you want to give it to a family member, which is also fine? But just let me know. I assume you want it if you've entered, and let me know you're here. Dex, are you here? Give you one more minute, buddy. Let me know in chat that you're here. Otherwise, we're going to re-roll. I'll give you one more minute, and then we're going to re-roll it. Just be careful, those of you who are still in this short. It broke down there, and you didn't see the follow through to previous week close. It's getting close, but this is potential compression. You have volume here. So far, sellers are selling above volume, but remember, you're at low of day. That's a failed look below. If they start building over this, a bigger squeeze can happen. All right, we're going to re-roll this, Dex, because I've not heard from you. So we're going to re-roll it in 5. This is your chance to talk. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, re-rolling. Red plasma. Are you here, red plasma? There you are. Awesome. All right, res plasma. Just shoot me an email. Same thing, all right? info@flowzonetrader.com. Just send me a screenshot of your YouTube with you logged in, just so I know it's you. Here you go. Maybe now you're going to get the breakdown. Just making a note of you. Plasma. Free course. Awesome. All right, so just shoot me that email and I will sort you out. Okay, who asked a question? Someone wanted to know what the advantages of trading with prop firms are over anything else. Okay, here are the advantages. When you trade with your real money, you will need more money when you're trading futures because it's a leveraged product. So you're going to need more capital exposure to make money in the market, number one. For that money, all right, you can have way more leverage by trading with prop firms, all right? So prop firms can be as cheap as $50. Most of the 50K accounts average around $100 nowadays. So $100 will get you the equivalent of $2,000 in your account, or $2,500. Let's put it that way, because really what your exposure is, all right, is your amount of risk that you're allowed to have, your max loss. So let's say you trade with, I don't know, funding ticks, all right? So funding ticks, FT right now. What is an account on funding ticks right now? It's probably about $75, is it? $80, something like that. Depends if you want the 5K or 1,000K. But let's say you're happy with $1,000, making $1,000 every 5 days. Or if you want $5,000 every 5 days, let's just call it $100. All right, for $100, all right, you can then withdraw from the market $5,000 every 5 days. And with that, all you need to do, all right, is to stay consistent to their rules. Now, their rules for funding ticks, I don't think they have a consistency rule from what I remember. So you can have an outlier day. So all you need to do, it has an end of day trailing drawdown, not trailing, an end of day drawdown, which I think is $2,000. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Right. So as long as you don't lose more than $2,000 and you trade for 5 days, every 5 days you can take a payout. And all that's going to cost you is about $80 or $100. And it's the same for most prop firms. It also means that when you make errors and you blow up, you do something stupid, especially when you're newer to trading, you fat finger, you get emotional, you fight the trend. I imagine all the prop firm traders who went the other way of us today, right? They tried to buy this dip there. They were like, oh, we're going to go back to highs. It's all right. I'm going to buy this and buy this and buy this and buy this and blow up. All right. What did they actually lose? Well, probably about $100 per account. Then they tried again here. $100 per account. Now, if you were trading a $5,000 account of your own money and you got caught in this opening flush, then you probably lost a lot more than $100. So it's a question of leverage and risk. All right. You will see if you go to the videos on my channels, I've done videos where for funding ticks, I took an account which cost, I think it was $66 at the time. I actually think I bought it for 38, but I said it was 66 because it was a special sale. And I passed that account in 4 days. And the next week I took a $1,000 payout. And it's actually more like $800 or $900 after they take their fee. So imagine effectively in the space of 10 days, I turned $30 to $50 into $1,000. That is the advantage. It is the return on investment. And above that, you can trade them all together where they are linked. Okay, so you can trade them. If you want to have 50 accounts, you can trade 50 accounts at the moment. Today, this morning, I traded some accounts together, some not. So that becomes my profit on the day, right? 1,000, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, $5,500 on the day or something. Instead of, trading one account and being heavily exposed. That's not to say you shouldn't do that. You should also trade your own account. But those of you who know, I do not actively trade futures in my own account. What I do actively trade is the indexes and stocks. I swing stocks and indexes, and I day trade using prop firms because they are just a cash cow. Yes, 80-20 payout. Well, it depends on which firm, but yeah, on that firm it's 80-20. On Apex, it's 100% of the first 25 grand. On TPT, I think it's 80-20 as well, but it's same day payouts. Oh yeah, no worries, Red Plasma. Get you guys up. There you go. Did great on a 50k demo, but my own money sucks. So I see now it's a capital margin problem. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, BU. That's exactly it. Just scaling them together. Alex, what's the fundamental difference between the Flow Zone? You mean the Flow Zone Pro and the Flow Zone Momos? So the Pro, this one here, it's all the key levels. So with the Pro system, you get the IB, lower time frame, higher time frame, all the EMAs, which you always get, the buy and sell signals and the pullback signals. And then you get previous day close, previous day open, previous day high, previous day low, previous week close, previous week open, previous week high, previous week low. And then you also get the opening range and Globex. And it does all of that automatically. It makes your life easy. You come to the chart and it's done. That's the difference. It's just all those levels. I don't even remember what the original Momo gives you. I haven't used it for so long. But you see how I've lost interest now. All right, I would be somewhat cautious now. Like if you're a bear from here, you're okay. But it can get dangerous, guys. All right, the amount of bears coming in here looking for this move and this move. All right, what if they lost here? Momentum is good. Location is terrible. Remember, we want momentum and location. What was good up here? We had better location. This was the best location of the day since the New York Open. Remember, at that New York Open, I didn't get what I wanted. We flushed down, so we had to wait. Once we came up here, this is an A+ location because we're rejecting key levels. And momentum, once we failed, right, we had all the balls trapped, momentum became great. So we had both things. So before every trade, that's the first thing you should be asking yourself. What's your momentum? What's your location? Who's in control of the market? I would argue down here, you're starting to lose momentum. Bears still have edge, but you're starting to lose momentum. But what you've definitely lost is location. So you can sit in the trade, but I wouldn't be adding new positions down here because you're asking. We're very thin in here. Any break, you can see these spikes. Any break above 40s, right, we can reprice. This is a 50-point reprice, can happen very quickly. So bears still have the edge, but as long as you're bearish from up here, don't be adding to new positions down here. Even if it breaks down away from you, that is, you're going to get yourself in into bad habits is the best way to put it. Yeah, there's an upgrade on the website. In the Discord, we did do like it got put out at discount, like whenever it came out a year plus ago, cheaper for everyone in Discord. But we can sort you out if you didn't get it. But you can upgrade on the website. But yeah, just shoot me a message on Discord. We'll figure it out. Daniela, since I found you, I've got so much progress, being struggling up and down for years. I really considering getting your course and being in the Discord. So much value here. Oh, nice. Well, it's just great that I've been able to help, even if you don't join. Set the open. There you go. So BU's answered it. So the difference is the opening range and the previous week levels. I think it might be Globex as well, and Globex. I think I added that late. I genuinely I can't remember. You'd have to have a look between the two. Have a look. Yeah, the guys in Discord are amazing. So here you see, you're starting to see what we just talked about. This compression starting, as Scott would call it, compression. All right, build out a volume and a look below and fail, and bears are not getting this breakdown. So what are we due? We are due. Think about where we broke down from. There's your pivot to pivot. It can easily afford a trade back into here, even into here, which is why you don't want to be short a low day, because even if we're going to go lower, it could afford that, couldn't it? Which is why I would just say you got to be careful. You don't get short at the lows when objectives have been taken. Wyckoff accumulation. I mean, in a very small time frame, yes, but not overall. You're talking about this and a look below and a spring or sign of strength. But I would argue we're still going to move lower. I would just argue in terms of swing points. What I'd say is a better Wyckoff accumulation. I'm going to show you what is a better Wyckoff accumulation. I would say this is a better Wyckoff accumulation. Spring, reversal, trade inside, breakaway. All right, higher time frame. Remember, higher time frame more powerful than lower time frame. This is why we wanted shorts today. Right? There's the compression. There's the spring. There's the sign of strength. There's the trade back inside. There's the trade away from it. It's a messy one, but that is far more powerful than, I understand what you're talking about, trying to look for it here to go back into here. It's just going to be a counter trend that's probably faded. For me, it's very simple. There's no longs in this market until we're up above here now. All right. Bears now have taken control of this market. And, we can look at this level here. This is is this Monday or Friday? Friday's profile down here. And the edge of last week's profile also available. So yeah, I would just be careful. Just manage, like I said, if you're in from highs, if you're short from up here where we're short from this morning, you can absolutely manage your position and sit through the swing points. I just would not be adding to a new short position at the lows. By the way, just because I'm not adding at the lows, there is absolutely no long. I don't care what this market does. I wouldn't be long in this market. It's just asking for it. No worries. No worries, John. I mean, look, the longer they go sideways here, the more volume that's going to be built up. Look, you can see even point of controls flipped here. This is a massive area now for the remainder of the day, right? Protecting this low volume node. This here. I think you're short from up here, aren't you, John? So you're good. You're comfortable. And you have clear targets, TP1, TP2. All I'm saying is I wouldn't be entering a new short position, a new money short, as I would call it, right? Not a new short position. The location is not good. The momentum's okay. That's all I'm saying. If you're sitting in that from where we got short, just sit in it until it gives you a reason to get out. You can sit in it. Just don't add to it. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. I think other than that, it looks fantastic. For potential rollovers, it's just like you have to decide: are you willing to sit through this? Okay, are you willing to sit through that leg there? If it needs to create that to move lower, are you willing to sit through it? Only you know the answers to that. That comes down to personal. And if we do this and it doesn't fade and it reclaims that, are you okay with it maybe taking you the rest out break even? That's all you've got to answer. All right. So manage your position according to how you like to trade. If you're willing to sit through that, then you should definitely sit through this, right? If you've taken a partial and you're willing to let this come all the way break even because you're looking for this, then you should sit through it and let it happen. Absolutely. We're getting very close to that previous week close here. So that next TP is close to being tagged. Chad, I can help you, my friend. I can help you. The first thing that's important is understanding how you like to trade. Okay, so are you a scalper? Oh, yeah, just let it ride then, John. Yeah, if you're just one micro left, let it ride. You can let it ride. Chad, you have to decide, are you a scalper or are you like a set and forgetter? What do I mean by that? Are you someone that likes to take these little moves, or are you someone that likes to position for the bigger move? That's the first thing to ask. The reason I say that is because the rules of the firms will dictate what you're into. So if you like to set and forget, I would not trade at Apex. I would trade with the growth accounts on Tradeify, or I would trade with funding ticks, or you could also have a look at funded next. I would trade with those. If you want to build out a huge amount of accounts and you're willing to scalp for a number of weeks to get past the trading drawdown, then you can look at Apex for sure, because they give the best ability to scale and get payouts, but you've got to be patient with them. You have to pass them, and then you have to get above the trailing drawdown. The other thing you want to look at is what type of payouts do you want? Do you want same day payouts? Then you want to be trading with Take Profit Trader. Or now, I think you can trade with My Funded Futures. I think they now started offering same day. Do you want to take payouts every 5 days? Then you can look at funding ticks and funded next. Are you willing to sit and scale longer? Then you can look at Tradeify, Apex, etc., etc. The other thing is Lucid is another good one. The other thing to look at is, do you want direct to funded? Do you want to go past, not have to worry about passing the accounts now? My issue with direct to funded, why I don't push them on you guys, lots of people will tell you go direct to funded, go direct to funded. It saves you all the hassle because they make more commissions when you use their account direct to funded. The big issue I have with direct to funded accounts is the 20% consistency rule. I think the consistency rules are something which are overlooked by a lot of traders. Apex has a 35% or 30% consistency rule. Tradeify with the growth counts, I think, has a 35% consistency rule. Take profit trader doesn't have a consistency rule. Funding ticks doesn't have a consistency rule. Funded next doesn't have a consistency rule. Top Step doesn't have a consistency rule. I don't advise using Top Step only because they only trade on Project X. Otherwise, I think they're a good firm. So these are the things that you need to consider. There's lots of free information on my YouTube where I talk about the benefits of each account. So if you go on my YouTube, I talk about recently funding ticks, take profit trader. There's lots there on Apex where I walk you through everything. It's worth spending an hour and a half just watching those videos because I explain it all. All right. Previous week close now been tagged here, folks. And the only thing left now is if we're going to go for previous week value. And you can see the bleed is continuing. We are bleeding down. I'm going to check the ETFs quickly. So Q's very close to filling the gap here on the cash. So a cash gap fill on the QQQ will be 609.73. Sorry. 609.73. ES got a long way to go because healthcare is still holding up, like we talked about in the breadth today. Yeah, different firms, different platforms as well. My advice would be trade with firms that offer Tradeify. Very, very simple. You want Tradeify because if you trade with Ninja, you can use Tradeify. If you trade with Tradeify, you can use Tradeify. If you trade on, like executing on TradingView, you can trade with Tradeify. I would not personally advise Project X. I think that thing is, I've maintained it. It is terrible. There's too many issues, and now the guy who built it has left, and you will notice everyone's getting very upset with Michael Patek and Top Step. Why? Because Project X is owned by him. They've not rehired. It's got loads of bugs, and there's major issues going on there. So my advice would be, I've always maintained this before everyone suddenly caught on and gone, oh, that's a bad idea. You know, you're getting firms like Lucid saying, oh, we'll offer you to move from Project X to Tradeify. I've maintained it. Trade with professional type accounts like Tradeify. Do not, my advice would not be to trade with Project X. Right? It's very simple. Personal advice, but some of you guys I know, I'm sure, absolutely love it. It is not for me. If it gives you wrong data, I don't know how you can trade on it. Okay, so your only TP left. This is still being walked down. Bears are maintaining absolute control in this market. We are coming for previous week value area low here. That is your only thing left to look for if any of you are in this short like John is. Yeah, so red plasma, you're right. Most days have done that. You answer me this because you've kind of already answered it. Why is today different to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week? What's different with today? So it doesn't mean it doesn't do it, but what's the difference between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today when we look at the charts? I'll give you a clue. What's the first chart every single day when you join me on stream? What's the first chart we look at? First chart we ever look at. It's the first time frame that we look at. Does anyone know why we're only short biased today? We have gone over it numerous times, but it's really good that you guys can remember this for future. Daily, exactly, full forward. The daily chart is what's dictating what we're doing today. The daily chart, right, has left its range. Here's Monday. Remember, most of this was a gap. The range was basically 5 something into 7s. Look above and fail. Here's your inside bars. Just think about this. Forget the wicks. Forget this. All right. We can even go on a 4 hour, and I'll take extended off. Let's go regular trading hours. Look at this. Make it real simple. Here's your range. Right? This is what's been traded in a New York session. since Monday, because this is the gap. So that's Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday. What's happened today? We've broken down, right? This is like an island gap, same as this, right? We left buyers trapped up here. We left buyers trapped up here. Where are we going to go? Here's your gap fill, right? Low hanging fruit complete, right? This is why today is not probably going to offer this trade up unless they set a giant short squeeze. Whereas in these days, right, we trade down and we come back to VWAP. And the next day we trade down and we come back to VWAP. And yesterday we traded down and we came all the way up and all the way back down again. All right, now we've left these buyers trapped. It's these buyers in here, that's whose pain we're using today. That's why we're moving lower, right? We're trying to make them stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out. Full sense of security to buy it. Stop out, stop out, stop out, right? But location, we've hit our location. If today we had opened up here, right, then we would have been long because we would have left this balance range underneath us and we'd be long looking to fill this gap, right? We would have done the complete opposite because I'm not biased based on anything else other than what my eyes, Alex's silly little top knot, all right, what I'm looking at. And that's what I'm looking at. It's like a potato head, isn't it? That's what I'm looking at, all right? What's the maximum level that I think we can go for today? It's down here, all right? We have a node here. Let's just call it 25,000, 2520. 50-day lower bowl. We should not trade. If we're going to come down there, if it gets really weak, we should not trade under the lower bowl. If we do, we probably get a reaction like this, unless it's a cascading event and we're just going to go mental. If you think about what we've done, we've talked about this over and over again. Top bowl, 20-day, pause. Reject 20-day, lower bowl, 50-day, mean reversion, 20-day. Remember, this is halfway between these two, back towards that lower bowl now. All right, bulls will need to defend this. Failing to defend this, if we zoom out, if we build lots of liquidity in here, right, where we're very, very thick, this will become the new edge. If we fail that, you will see downside pressure in the market. If we come down and we trade in this range and we reclaim, we can go all the way back up because this would just be a multi-leg down into a ledge that reclaims. So for now, we're short bias in here, right? Once we get in here for a few sessions, we're neutral, right? Bearish edge, but we're neutral because the market has shown you it builds liquidity in here. And if we move above this, we're bullish. And if we move below that, we're bearish. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Difference between trending markets and non-trending markets. And if you rewind to the very start of the New York Open today, when we did this first move down, right, this first move down, you would have heard me say the profile looks like we are building a trending market day. So not only were we outside of previous day's value area, remember this is previous day's value area, so we were breaking down outside of it, which is your first tick of saying, okay, well, we're gonna, oh, can't even do a tick, we're gonna be in a trend day. The way the profile built here suggested trend. Why? We weren't building a D shape, okay? We had for the time, we'd had like thick spike and then thin and then thick and then thin and thick and thin. And then thin profiles like that are often trending days. The other thing to note, yesterday we were a B shape. I talked about it on stream. The clue is here. That is a B-shaped profile. That is a very bearish profile. It is not a bullish profile, especially if we gap below the B shape. All right. They had an objective to try and gap us up. They failed. We gapped below the B shape. Everything today suggested bearish moves. Again, I'll go over all of this in the new course. Absolutely everything I'm teaching you here. But there you go. Giving you some nice free education here. Lokiant, what Bollinger settings do you have on your charts? Just standard, mate. I only look at them on a daily. I'm not interested in them on any other time frame. Just daily Bollinger Bands. Yeah, just daily Bollinger Bands. But just standard settings. So if you didn't know that your middle band on a Bollinger Band is a 20-day. That's why I referenced the 20-day, 5-day. Right, continuation. Still rejecting point of control. All right. Until bulls reclaim volume, they've had another attempt. Until they reclaim volume, bears remain in control. Once they reclaim volume, you'll get a squeeze out. But for now, and again, I am not playing longs today. There's no way on a trend day down when we're in breakout am I playing longs, right? So this is the next target. If they can keep defending these levels here, bears will be trying to target this. The main objectives have been done. Gap fill done, previous week close done. It's all been done. If we get into the edge of last week's value, that's an amazing trade. But John, if you get that, my friend, incredible patience. So 7 minutes left, and then we're going to move into lunchtime, and I'll get out of here. Done for the day. I won't be trading this afternoon, folks. I actually desperately needed a break from the screens. I didn't even know if I was going to trade today. I was so exhausted yesterday by everything. I see some of you, Red and Mark, I can see your emails. As soon as I get off stream, I will reply to you. Okay, I'll sort you out with everything. As soon as I get off stream. Alex is a market genius. Guys, honestly, I'm definitely not a genius. I'm just the same as you guys. But I've probably just got a bit more experience and an understanding. But there's no, how can I put this? It's like learning the market and learning how and why we move is no different to, I don't know, the first time you load up like Photoshop or something like that, and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I looking at? There's so much stuff to look at. Like, oh, I've clicked the wrong button. What does that do? What does this mean? And that's all it is. Once you understand it and you can create, I think what I'm good at doing, which is why you guys probably turn up, I can create a narrative for you guys to understand it. I'm a good teacher. That's nothing to do with the market. Probably because I did psychology, and a lot of that was pedagogy when I was studying my Bachelor of Science in Psychology. So I did 3 years of pedagogy modules, which is how to teach, ways of teaching. And I teach you guys how I learn, which is visual. Everything I do is visual, and then I try and create a storyline and narrative. And I think once you can do that, look, there are loads and loads of really good traders who are awful teachers because they don't have the vocabulary to make it easy to understand. And vice versa, there's probably a ton of very good teachers who are awful traders because they can understand it, but they can't necessarily execute. So hopefully the way I teach it just makes it easily digestible. Okay, you're still in control here, folks. John, you still look good for now. I'd say all the time that volume's holding, you look good for downside pressure. VIX is still trying to push for a high day break. Let me just see what's left on VIX. Here's new high day coming. What is the next level for VIX? You filled the gap. I'd say VIX can get all the way up to 2025, and then you're looking at 2025, 21, and then 2270. I mean, it is crazy. Looking at VIX, it's starting to do an inverted head and shoulders on the higher time frames, and that is not a good look for the markets. If we have a massive swipe up today on the VIX, if we close up at like over the 20s, then either tomorrow or Monday is likely to be a rally. But we'll see. We will see. 3-bar reversal. Hi Alex, I couldn't be with you at the start of the session. Could you go over the trades you took today? Yeah, I'll go over them in a second. Do you think we can go to midnight open in the PM? No. It's so far away. Where's your midnight open? You're so far away. Not a chance in hell, mate. 25,680s. I mean, no. Just no way. There's no way. You'd have to reclaim all of balance. I mean, you could if there's a huge news article that comes out, but at the moment, there's just absolutely no chance it's getting anywhere near that. I'm here trying to lose money because of the consistency rule. If you've got a consistency rule and you need to get it down, rather than try and lose money in a trade, the best way of doing it is probably just go market in, market out, market in, market out, market in, and get your fees up. That's probably the easiest way to do it, rather than try and lose, because if you try and lose, you'll probably end up winning and making more. So just cycle through contracts, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, just non-stop, and eventually you'll probably do it. It's easier to do when we go into a range, because if you buy, sell now and you do a 50-point drop, and you're the wrong side of it, it'd be annoying. So yes, let me answer. 3-bar reversal. Okay. We were looking short today. You can go back and watch the beginning of the video. We're looking short because we're moving outside of range, right? Outside of balance range, left up here, right? We've left everyone trapped. 3 days of balance trapped above, like we've talked about. They're all trapped in here. Same if we keep going left and left again. And actually Monday as well. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all trapped. We're looking for shorts. We're breaking down. We're looking for shorts. The only way I was going to look for longs today is if we looked below and reclaimed value, and then I was looking for a long for a trade back up. But all the time, we were heavy under here. I was looking for shorts. So at the open, I wanted shorts. Didn't get it, right? Didn't get the structure I wanted. Unfortunately, it literally broke this little low, and that was it. It was gone, and that's fine. So I missed that, so I had to wait for a reprice. So we waited for 2 legs. We tried this here for a short back down for a new low of day. I was convinced new low of day was coming. So we took a partial into this volume here. All right, so once we got stuck, buyers got stuck here, we rotated, we stopped the rest in the money. I think it was at VWAP or something. And I said, okay, well, maybe it needs a bigger second leg to develop. And once we got through here, I was like, you must stop out because the squeeze is open back up to the volume at the highs. And up here, how we act, I was like, we will be short up here as long as we're defending previous day value area low, previous day low, 24-hour VWAP, lower time frame algo. I wanted a short up here. You can literally go back and rewind it. I was saying I want a short up here, but I don't want to be front side. What you can't do is go short, 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 blow up. All you have to do is let the shorts get stuck, or let the buyers get stuck. They got stuck up here. There's the delta. I watched it on the footprint. I let it come down, and then there was some, I'm trying to remember the levels now. Maybe you guys can help me. Was it 30s or 20s? I think there was a buyer trying to soak here. All right. Every strong sell in, he was soaking and soaking and soaking and soaking and soaking and soaking and soaking non-stop. I said, once he gets out the way and he loses, we will be short side in this, and then it's set up. All right. So once he lost, he started becoming a seller in the tape. The delta flipped to sell side. Right. This is backside of the move after a 2-try, failing at a key level, and we're playing the backside. And I said, we had to get through this level here. All right, because if bulls were to hold this, we'd complete a rotation up. But I felt like a new lower day was very highly probable because this was just a reprice. This lacked structure, and we would go back down. And that was the move. And I covered into the gap at the low, the gray box. I actually got stopped out. So I was trying to hold here. All right, when we were here, I didn't take this cover here. I was trying to hold in case we came down to this and this. Got stopped out in the recovery, and I said, no more shorts down here, please, because your location has gone. And we've hit the main target. The main target is gap fill, previous week close. This is the only thing left if it's going to go there. We are still short bias, but I would not enter a new short position here because your location was up here. And even though we built out liquidity, you are giving up 200 points in location. So that's the quickest, easiest way I can make sense of it for you. Read these. Alex, do you ever look at historical data, like if a month is down or up? For instance, November historically is supposed to be a good month. Yeah, historically it is, Mo. But what is the other important thing? What is the most amount of green candles the Nasdaq or the S&P has ever had in a row on a month? Do you know? So yes, I do look at historical data. Let me show you. Here's your month. Guess what the maximum amount of green candles in a row we've ever had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have we ever had 8 and 9? No. We always sell historically after a run like this on the monthly. All right, so if we made a green candle and closed green this month, it would be a new thing. There you go. Garbs knows it. 7. Right, so that would be a new thing. We've never done it before. So even though November is historically strong, and September and August have seasonality weakness, which we didn't see. So maybe the seasonality got moved into the November candle and this strength is going to get sold into. Now, that doesn't mean we can't do a Santa Claus rally. This can still be a pullback. I want everyone to understand this based on a monthly chart. Oh my gosh, we can have a pullback right down to here and still be very, very bullish. There's lots of people calling for this broadening wedge here and that we're going to come right the way back to new lows on the year. I don't see that happening right now. Doesn't mean it can't happen. There's nothing in here indicating that will happen right now. Are there problems with the banks? Yeah. Is there inflational problems? Yeah. Historically, when we go into quantitative easing in a recession, when it's too late and we start making rate cuts, do we go up? No. Everyone thinks we go up. We don't. We might go up short term, but like if you think this is 2007, then maybe that is the 2008, right? Maybe. But for me, all I'm thinking is, well, we can afford this, right? Think about the size of the pullback. I mean, we've barely pulled back, right? We can afford a pullback. We're up just shy of 60% on the year. So far this week, off the highs, or this month, 7% pullback this month. All right, and then the last few days, it's really not panic stations. It's 4% overall. I think a 11% is warranted. Somewhere into here. It would make total sense, and it would still be very bullish based on structure. All right, we can easily do that on a monthly and still be bullish. But who knows, right? Who knows? Like, all I know is net longs is retail, and hedgies are not getting their net long. They want to be net long, but we just haven't pulled back enough for them to get net long in this market. They're very, very upset. They won't get their Christmas bonuses if they can't get that move. We are having repo problems again. Yeah, absolutely, Roscoe. I mean, the macro signs are there. Like, I read all this stuff. It's hard, right? I'm a technical trader. I understand the issues in the market, but what I also understand and why I try not to like get too caught in. I'll give you an example. Like my dad's so much into like the news. I'm like, mate, it doesn't fucking matter what the news says. The market's going to do what it wants. We've seen that this year, right? A market doesn't normally move up off 7 stocks being green. If you look at like the 50-day average, I think most the market is under its 50-day average and has been for most this year, right? We're up because of 7 stocks. It's as simple as that. And like once they have fear come into them, then I think, you know, maybe you get a house of cards. Like we talked about at the very start of the show. You look at like credit card debt, like the repos, like you said, credit card, student, which is the worst it's ever been right now, and car. You would have noticed more repossessions on new cars, more people buying older cars at the moment. They can't afford new cars. Last week saw the biggest Google search into second jobs, people getting second jobs, than we've seen since 2008, right? It's all there. Like, the signs are there, but we don't necessarily react to it. That's the really important thing with markets. Like, it can take a long, long time. You need like more than a few cracks showing. You need lots and lots of things to start happening at once, and you need mass panic. And we're just not in a mass panic right now. Doesn't mean it doesn't come, right? That's all I'm saying. Doesn't mean it doesn't show and rear its ugly head. Like, it's very, very rare that we have, as much debt in America as we have, and we've decoupled from reality as much as we have, and that we had so much printing of money back in 2019, 2020, and that we think we're just going to have this soft landing. Like, I just don't agree with that. 80% of the time it doesn't happen. I don't think this time's any different. I don't think it happens. It is, for me, it's very simple. How far can they kick the can down the road? Can they kick it 3 years down the road? Maybe. Very, very well, maybe. I think next year is going to be, it's either going to be two things. It's either going to be a bloodbath, or I think we're going to do rotation the whole year, like really drastic up, really drastic down, really drastic up, really drastic down, because that's how the market has started to feel recently. Coop will know, we exchanged some messages over that. I'll give you an input for those of you trading props. I think next year you might need to move away from trailing drawdown quickly, or get past the trailing drawdown, because I think the whipsaw, it could be very, very violent next year. That's where my head's at the moment, just based on what I'm seeing. Any other questions, folks? We're into lunch. I'm going to get out of here, use the gym, all that good stuff. You can see same levels are here. So you're still reacting here, but just be careful. What you don't want to see is this. So far, they have not printed above and held. Every drive-in is being sold into. Sellers are in complete control until buyers see this. And I would not be playing the longs today. All I'm saying is you can sit in the shorts all the time. Every pop is being sold into. Okay, and you're looking for this down here. No worries. All right, folks. I think that's it for us. If you guys are all good, I'm done with this. Great day. Awesome day, actually. All right, you know the rules. Back tomorrow for the same thing. Please don't chase this market. Two things I want you to be aware of. It is not a long. Even though I'm saying there's squeeze potential, that's for you guys to manage your shorts. I would not personally be looking for counter trend longs in a market which is bleeding out in breakout. All right, in breakout. So don't. For me personally, you guys do what you want. For me personally, this is not a day to be long in. It is not a day to be trying to catch a nice, trying to play a dip, trying to play a squeeze out. The market's shown you, it told you very early, we're selling, we're selling, we're selling. Think about how many people tried that, sold. Every pop, sold, sold, sold. This is where they want to come. You don't need to be a hero. If you're bad at shorting, just leave today alone. Tomorrow or Monday is going to offer you some form of relief rally, I would expect, either tomorrow or Monday. So just wait. If you missed all this today, you just wait. You don't try and guess the bottom. And here you go. Maybe you're going to get that previous week value area low coming. All right, folks. Big love. Those in Discord, I will pop in later, but I can't imagine me actively trading this unless something really changes. Like I said, pretty tired. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining. I really want to say thanks for being positive today. Honestly, I can't say it enough. It makes a difference to my trading. I need a calm trading environment for me to be able to read and execute. Remember, I am watching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screens and having to talk through it and having to educate and having to trade when you guys bring positive energy and you're helpful and useful and kind, I can be calm and I can read the tape really well and help you guys. So let's just keep this up and make sure that we have this kind of environment as many sessions as possible moving forward, because it helps me. And if I'm trading that well, you guys are going to make a ton more money as well. All right. Peace and love, everyone. Please be safe. Use hard stops. Don't chase the bottoms. Don't guess and try and catch the knives. Be smart. All right. Be smart. You're into lunch. The volume's probably going to start tapering off. So be smart. Peace and love.